people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you. How you guys doing today, my people? Yes, we are back here again, like we stated before, as you can see there on the title. So we have Governor Godwin Enogegase Obaseki, who will be addressing Edo people all over the world in the next minute or two. So, my people, we are going to carry everybody along where we're going to be asking questions. Our questions are going to be thrown out, but remember, it's not all questions that will be permissible to go in there. So we are going to make sure at least one or two questions can get in there. So my people, I appreciate every one of you for your time. Help us to share. Please just hit the like button and share. Let others know that yes, because the OBASEKI will be addressing all the people all over the world right now. So we are going to be connecting with the Zoom meeting right now so that everybody can watch live. Thank you very much, my people. I appreciate you all. I can see Mommy Diaspora is right there with you, with us. Merrick, Imande, Sonia, Alex, also Betty, Edgar, Nez, Sazua is right there. Prince Edos, thank you very much yesterday, sir. Thank you very much always. Nell, James, I see you right there. Thank you very much. Camila, I see you right there. Joseph, Odobo, Osaritin, Mokaro, Iyama Joseph, Ima Egbedion, ABSO. Thank you very much. Morgan Davidson, the Irons Ward, Ella Sam, Ebony Esther, Father, Evangelist Man of God. I see you all. Also, Francis, I see you. Paul Egato, Will Edos, and Donji Saint. You know, on more info, I see you all. We need to do this right now. We need to connect with them right now. I'm sorry we don't have enough time to do this together. If not, I would have carried everybody along. So please just stick with us while we do this. I'm going to connect everyone right now. Please help me to share. Help me to share. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you, my good people.
Thank you all so much. Welcome to I will now hand over to Comrade Lante. Thank you. Comrade Lante, go on.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, please. First, I want to thank everybody who is in the room with us. I understand now that His Excellency Right is right in the room with us. Please, if you have not been asked to speak, could you just mute yourself? If you've not, please, backroom staff, let's mute everybody who's. People that contested the election. No outside that people to contest the election. There are all sons and daughters. Hello. Maybe if there was a daughter, there would be the same. At the end of it. Okay, I just had to remove that one. Okay, yes. Please, can we confirm that His Excellency is in the house with us? If he is, please let's give him co-host rights so that he can mute and unmute himself. Backroom staff. And if that is the case, do people and Nigerians across the world, it is my privilege and honor to welcome you all to this meeting. This is a town hall meeting with the governor of Edo State and of course with the people of Edo State all across the world. Permit me to remind us that the town hall meeting with this Edo State people worldwide is one of the interactive initiatives introduced by the governor of Edo State, His Excellency Governor Godwin OBASEKI, as an engagement forum wherein is periodically able to interact directly with Edo State people all across the world. And of course, we cannot stress it more. We stress to say that for this initiative, the governor, for us, proudly is, we can be able to say that Governor OBASEKI is the most engaging governor in the history of Nigeria. And of course, that's a huge pride to the people of Edo State. As usual, the governor of Edo State is going to take some time to, of course, tell us the state of Edo State today, what he's been doing, where we are, and of course, where he's taking us to. And of course, in the course of the process, he's going to entertain questions and of course respond to questions. And those that will be picked, to ask questions will be selected randomly by, members of our team. And of course, the governor too has the leverage to, pick on anybody or pick questions from the chat room to equally respond to. It's an interactive section between the governor and his people. My name is Komilante Monsa Oriahi. I'm your anchor person for this program, but of course I have some very erudite and distinguished two people who are going to equally join me to anchor this program. I have Dr. Loretta Boroko in the house. I have Mr. Sonny Irabo, and equally have Moses Obakbolo. And of course, we have a team of other backroom staff that will be helping us to manage this process. I shall quickly now hand over to Dr. Loretta to quickly take us through the ground rules for today. Dr. Loretta, please.
Thank you very much. His Excellency is around. Thank you. In a moment, we'll be taking the national anthem and the state anthem. But before we do that, can we all please just realize that we need to mute our devices when we are not speaking, otherwise we'll be taken out of the meeting. We will please label our devices with our actual names, because any devices not labeled will also be taken out of the meeting. By the time the governor has spoken, you will have time to ask your questions. But please let us remember that the questions will span no more than 60 seconds and the mic will go mute. So let us all please be the civilized and great Edo State people and friends of Edo State, which we are, as we proceed now with the national anthem and the state anthem. Thank you very much.
Irabo, please introduce and bring on the government, please.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Edo Indigenes all over the world. Good evening, everyone in the house. And of course, I want to say good evening, Your Excellency. I had to put the protocol last because I'm proud to introduce to you, Edo people, the proud governor of Edo State. Because the man you want to see as who many may describe him as very tough, very single-minded, but he's delivering, and things he's delivering, I've not seen any other governor do it the way he has done it, professionally and purposefully. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency Godwin Nogagase OBASEKI, the governor of Edo State. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you very much, Sonny. Thank you, Lante. Thank you, Loretta, and the entire team that has put this town hall meeting together. I cannot thank you enough because you may not realize it. There are very few governors and governments in this country that have been able to organize this type of interaction with their citizens this regularly. So I want to express my profound gratitude and that of the administration of Edo State to all of you that have worked together to help us keep this interaction going. I must state here that this is a people's government initiative. This program has not been put together by the government of Edo State alone. If anything, it was organized by private citizens, and the Edo State government is supporting this initiative. So I want to thank you, and also thank God that all of us are here today, almost 1 year after our inauguration, to have this interaction. The last 1 year has been quite traumatic. 1.5 years of the pandemic has been quite traumatic. Quite a few people are not that fortunate as we are to be here with us. So we have every reason to thank God for having survived or still surviving these challenging times that we find ourselves in. As usual, I will spend about an hour to try and give stewardship of what we have done to date. We have a social contract. That social contract was initiated on September 19th last year, when all of you, practically all of you, went around the world, mobilized resources, mobilized our people to vote for me and my administration. And we told you then and made it clear that we are not in any doubt that you are the ones that made us come into government. And as part of this social contract, we owe it to you to periodically come and render accounts of our stewardship. This is the contract. And today, by the grace of God, I have the pleasure to continue in that mode of fulfilling this contract. Let me lay the background for this presentation. Clearly, the world as we know it has changed. And anybody who wants to imagine that things are still the same is in a dreamland. Nigeria is not insulated from what has happened in the world. We have, within such a short period in the history of mankind, in less than 18 months, seen such radical changes that have occurred. If anybody had told us that we will have a pandemic where the entire world will come to a halt, where no matter how much money you have, as a Nigerian, if you are ill, you cannot even leave your country to go and get treatment outside. So we're now in a situation where we have to deal with a new reality. And what is this reality? First, with COVID-19, we have a new world order. We have a new world economic, social, health order. The emphasis of mankind has now changed. We now realize that with a pandemic, the only way we can get by is first to observe certain protocols, to change lifestyles, to observe social distance. That in itself has also challenged the global economy. So we have seen a rapid change in the way the world behaves. For the better part of 5 months last year, nobody moved. And, so what we used to rely on, crude oil, we now see is no longer the priority it used to be. People are looking for alternatives to crude oil. I mean, for those of you, outside the country, a couple of days ago, Tesla announced over 100,000 order of 100,000 electric cars. These developments have fundamental implications for us as a people and for our economy and the world and the way we used to live. Even without the oil, even without oil prices reducing today, we know that they're going to reduce into the future. We are challenged as a country because over the last 40 years, we've solely relied on oil and we've not managed our oil resources as responsibly as we should have. Even though oil prices may seem to have gone up, as a country, we are earning less today. And this downturn has affected everything else because we have relied solely on imports. We don't have enough foreign exchange to import goods and services, and we are not transparent in the way we are managing our economic resources or even foreign exchange. All of these have created crises and challenges for us. That is our reality today. So, in the light of this reality, what do we do? We realize that Edo was great before Nigeria was founded. Edo was great even when, as a region. Edo has always been great. Even before we found crude oil. And Edo will continue to be great even beyond crude oil. What do we need to do? We promised that if we were elected, we were going to work hard to make Edo great again by delivering true service to our people. And that is what we have been working on in the last 1 year. And how have we done this? We have kept it simple. First, we have rethinking the way we govern ourselves. We are fixing the engine that drives government. Because without a bureaucracy that works for government to deliver, government cannot do much. Even in historical times, the empire had a bureaucracy that still exists today. So every system, every government that needs to deliver must have an efficient bureaucracy. That is what you call government, that works for the people. Secondly, the people themselves have to be developed. We must develop a human capacity that can run the state, that can run business, that can help us build the state and build the nation. And so I was very clear in my campaigns that Edo people were too sophisticated. We passed the stage of stomach infrastructure. For us, our focus is about the human development, about building social and mental infrastructure for our people. And when you structure government properly to deliver services, when you develop your people, then these people can now drive commerce. They can now create the economy that you need that will help them prosper and live life to their fullest. So what I'm talking about today is not new. This has been who we've been. This is who we have been. over the last 500 years or more. So, in the last 1 year, what have we done? What has been the journey? The journey has, like I said, we focused on three main things. How do we govern ourselves? We're not going to wait for Abuja or anybody else to come and tell us and dictate how to govern ourselves. We know how to, we've always done. So what we've done in Edo is to first ensure that, the civil service works. We've improved, created a system to just improve public service performance. Because when we promise that we're going to build roads, that we're going to fix the hospitals, that we're going to change the living conditions of our people, who is going to do this? It is the civil service. It is the public service. Even as politicians, we come, win elections, and while we go and contest elections, but the civil service remains. So it is so critical that we must fix the civil service. And we've been doing so in the last 1 year, and I'm very, very proud of the civil service we have and the way they have responded to the changes that we have made. So how have we done this? We have introduced first what we call the Edo State Transformation Enhancement Project, which we call Edo STEP. But before we did this, we said, look, let us even think about these people. People who work for government are human beings. We must improve their working conditions. We must ensure that there's transparency. People can see they're not working for themselves, they're working for us. So we must see what they're doing. They must be open, just like that happens everywhere else in the world. So we introduced the Transformation and Enhancement Project for the state. And what are the key elements? First, now the Edo government is run on a merit-based system. You do not have to know anybody. You don't have to have a godfather to be hired. The system is open, you apply, you are tested, and if you qualify, go through the interviews, you will be hired. It doesn't matter your social economic background. We are rebuilding the environment, the offices in which our workers work. We want to treat them with respect and dignity. And we want to have a system where we train and continue to train them. We've introduced technology in the way we run our civil service, so that if you are buying things, if you're procuring contracts, it has to be transparent. It has to be done on an electronic platform. We have what we call e-governance now, where we are putting every information into a platform. And my hope is that I will be the last governor to treat manual files in Edo State. We are improving the tax administration system. We're changing from a culture where less than 200,000 people out of a population of 5 million people are the ones that pay tax. Everybody seems to be a free rider. So we're trying to ensure that we improve the tax system. We're not increasing taxes. We're just saying more people should pay their taxes. And then we are reviewing the way government does its business, the procedures, the processes. So when you are hired, you come to work, you have to tell us, what are you responsible for on a daily basis? And how do we make sure that you do what you said you will do? So like I said, we've hired over 600 young people, 600 out of the 1,500 we set out. The hiring process continues. As you can see, this hiring is merit-based. We're training and retraining our workers. We're training them very, very technology-friendly environment. And I'm very proud that we're also reducing the average age in the service. Whereas the average age in the Edo State is about 35 years, the average age in the Edo State service is 47. We're trying to reduce, realign the process. Like I said, we're also changing the environment. This is not Europe, this is not London, this is Edo State. This is the Secretariat. This is where our people are civil servants work. We're going to take a total renovation of the entire civil service and all government offices so that people can work in very comfortable environments and be highly productive. These offices have, as we're rebuilding them, they're connected to 24/7 power supply. They all have broadband internet connected to them, and they're very safe and secure. We are, like I said, introducing e-governance. Today, every Edo state worker has its electronic identity. So you may know when you log in, your process, everything you do is now captured electronically. We have also, we working with the World Bank. We have an e-procurement platform where every contract, there's nothing to hide. It's there on our procurement platform. We have to procure electronically so that there's transparency. And then I've been working on a major reform of our tax administration system. And I'm very proud that we have restructured. Yesterday, I spent time doing a monthly performance review with staff of the Edo State Internal Revenue Service. And these are not bankers, these are government officials who on a monthly basis have to come and tell us how they have performed. And we have broken down the tax administration. Say Oregon, for instance, now has 20 tax offices. So bring taxation closer to the people and make sure that people are no longer paying cash. People now pay their taxes electronically using things like POS and internet transfers. Why are we doing all of this? We're doing this for our people, because at the end of the day, on September 19th last year, you people came out en masse to say you believe us, you want us to work to change the living conditions of Edo people so that we can make Edo State one of the best places to live in the world, in Nigeria. And how do you do that? Because everything is driven by the human being. So let's focus on education. That's about education. We've focused on basic education, which is the foundation of education. We're also working on training and our people on skills for jobs. We're looking at key areas, healthcare and agriculture. The story of Edo West has been told over and over again. It's one of the celebrated educational transformation programs globally. The World Bank talked about it. Government of Rwanda come to draw lessons from us. The government of Gambia, the various state governments in Nigeria, Lagos, seven of them have come in to work to see what we have done that has helped us transform education, particularly in our public school system, such that the child today in Edo State, after two terms, is able to read and write. And in spite of COVID, because we have a technology platform, we're still able to deliver education to our children throughout those difficult periods. Our teachers have been very well motivated. We train them. You see the teacher there holding handheld devices and using that to teach the children in the classrooms. The pedagogy has changed. No longer corporal punishment. We use motivational tools to train children. And children are very happy and excited to come to school. And we can see what is the outcome. The measurement was undertaken a couple of months ago, and it's there. It's not us, manipulating the results. It's that a child in a Edo State public school system today is reading at about 70% of the rate of his peers in Europe and Asia. We have also focused and worked on skills because at the end of the day, it's about jobs. I promised that I was going to deliver 200,000 jobs, and it is possible. It's doable, and jobs are being created. And how are they being created? In which areas? We're looking at technology. We're looking at technical services. We're looking at entertainment. And how are we doing that? We're helping train people. We're giving them opportunities to learn skills, to learn trades. We're giving them support. We set up job centers in all the local government areas of the state. We've raised the first tranche of 2 billion micro, small and medium enterprises funds. We're going to be disbursing. We're starting disbursements this week. We have also built a creative hub, the wife creative hub, where said we put in sets and people who have productions can come there to finish, to mix their, to shoot, to mix and to produce their titles. We have also realized that from the lessons of COVID, we must strengthen our healthcare system. People were ill, they couldn't leave this country. Those who were ill could not go outside to see their doctors. So we have, for us, healthcare is critical. And it's no longer a political event or tool. We are working on rebuilding of our healthcare system from the foundation, from the basic, from primary healthcare. Every ward has a primary healthcare center. We are upgrading today, making sure that there's a 24/7 power supply, there's water, there's security, we have technology, we train the staff. We've set up a primary health agency. I've moved all the primary health workers from the local governments. I've not moved them to this agency. The local government is paying 60% of their salaries. The state government is paying 40%, and we've increased their working conditions. This way, we want to make sure that the first port of call, if you're ill, is your clinic next door to you, before you now begin to come to the hospital. Our hospitals, our specialist hospitals, will now be referral hospitals. That's not where you want to come and treat malaria or typhoid or whatever. Those can be dealt with at the primary healthcare centers. We've also done something revolutionary, because why is it that people refuse to go and seek healthcare? They go to patent medicine stores, they go to their herbalists, because they think it's too expensive. Because when you get in there, to pay for card, to pay for consultation. So we've broken it down. So look, let everybody have health insurance. And we have packages that are not too, they're not expensive. So for 50 naira a day, you can have a package that just allows you to walk into any of our health centers and get treatment. We have rolled out this insurance scheme. Today we have almost 30,000 employees starting from our civil public servants. We also, under the scheme, to the support of the federal government. So for the very poorest of the poor who don't have money, there's what we call a basic health care provision fund. For now, we have up to money for up to 10,000, and that is increasing to just help them access health care. We're focusing on training personnel, because at the end of the day, it's the human capacity to support the healthcare system. We are fortunate because in Edo State, between Benin, Irua, and Auchi, we can call up more than 3,000 doctors or 4,000 doctors, in spite of the brain drain. But we need to continue to retrain them. We need to also get to produce high-end, high-quality nurses and midwives for our healthcare system. And I'm proud to inform you that we have rebuilt our nursing schools, and then nursing school, and I think that's tomorrow, they will start classes. We're also focusing on agriculture. We're looking at, because we're blessed, we're different from most states. So we're using our advantage in oil palm to drive a whole agricultural revolution and reform. Today, apart from the existing plantation owner farms, Kobo and Presco, we've given land to about 8-9 other new developers, and just for the rains, they would have commenced massive land preparation for their nurseries to grow the new areas we've given them. So tonight, I'm saying, look, we came to you, we campaigned, we gave you a message, you sent us to Government House to go and work and make the promise of making Edo great again a reality. We have started. The first 1 year has been one, in which we have laid the foundations. You may not have seen what we're doing because we're not the government that jumps all over the place, that make noises, but we have done so much. 1 hour, 5 hours will not be enough for me to tell you how much we've done in the last 1 year. But core to what we've done is laying the foundation so whatever we say government will do, we've laid the foundation to make sure that government has a capacity, because the biggest challenge in Nigeria is not talk. Talk is very, very cheap, but how many people can execute? And the reason why governments can execute, make things happen, is because they do not have the capacity to do so. And we have built that capacity. Secondly, and lastly, we've also introduced the core function of planning. And people are wondering, with all you have done, what happens after you leave office? I said, no, it will only continue, because we are laying down a very clear path to progress, putting down planning functions. As we speak today, there are teams working across every MDA. We're putting together an Edo State master plan for the next 30 years, both a physical master plan and a socio-economic master plan. All of these we never inherited, we never met, but we will leave for the next generations. So we're working towards a goal. And this evening, I'm here to talk with you and say, please keep believing in us. Keep asking. It is your government. We have nothing to fight. We will tell you everything. Yes, it is difficult politically. We're changing things. People are doing things differently. A few people are not happy. They are on social media trying to create all sorts of false stories and false narratives. But you know, you are all very educated, enlightened people. Keep asking questions, keep engaging. We're not perfect, but we believe that with what we're doing, and what we're doing, the way we have started and where we're headed, Edo has no choice but to be great again. Thank you very much. I'll spend the next hour to just listen to your questions and so that we can interact and get suggestions also from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Governor Godwin OBASEKI. Thank you so very much. It's now time for us to move to the next segment, which is taking questions from the Zoom floor. Dr. Loretta, do we have some persons now that we can take questions from?
Yes, we do.
Please.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. You have been thorough, you have breezed through, we have a number of hands up. His Excellency has said that we may not be perfect, but we are all work in progress. I want to call on, I think we'll take it in batches of 3. So when I call you, you unmute and start speaking, and I'll call the other names so you get ready. And after 3, His Excellency will respond. I have Chris Okunseri. If you can unmute, and at the same time, Barry Iwodaro can get ready, as well as Chief Valiant Efosa Samson Ezoba. So, Chris Okunseri, if we kindly unmute him, please.
Chris Okunseri, please unmute yourself.
Mute. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. This is Dr. Christopher Okunseri. I must say at this point that you are God sent to Edo State at this point of our state. And I'll go straight to the question. You have clearly enumerated all you have done in trying to bring our state to where we are supposed to be. So my question to you, because of my background as a health professional and also the current president of the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, what are you thinking about recruitment and retention of health professionals, knowing where the dollar, the euro, and the pounds stand at this point? Any ideas about recruiting and retaining to really complete this process of building infrastructure and supporting the healthcare system that you are developing?
Thank you very much. I'm sure His Excellency is taking note of this. We'll take the other 2 and we'll answer all 3 at the same time. Thank you, sir. Barry Igodaru, you're next, please. And if we unmute Chief Valiant Efosa Samson Ezoba in interim.
hear me, please?
Yes, Barry, we can hear you now.
Yeah, good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Pastor Barry Lodaro from Manchester, United Kingdom. I want to use this opportunity to thank our amiable governor, and I want to also say, my question is this, concerning the healthcare, according to what my brother just said from the Americans, what is the Excellency going to do about those that don't have the money to access a good healthcare in Benin or Edo State in general? Like here in the United Kingdom, you don't have to have money to see your doctor. You don't have to have money to go for checkup. But where we came from in Nigeria, the case is not so. So I think like what he said about the healthcare system, I'm really happy with it. But we need to look at this healthcare system. How is it going to benefit the general public? Because there are some people in our state that cannot afford a good healthcare. So what is the government planning to do for the entire citizen that you don't have to have money to see?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Barry Lodaro. Thank you. The question has been noted. I want to actually say we should emulate Dr. Chris Okunseri. 60 seconds for our questions, please. Next in line is Chief Valiant Efosa Samson Ezoba. Please. Unmute him, please. So if he's not there, we can move on to another person.
I'm here. Yes, I'm here. I'm here, my sister. My Excellency, thank you for this regular interaction with us. I only have 2 or 3 observations, and I'll make it very brief. First one is, I understand from my group that a lot of these activities that we have Agbe coming back to the street. I want you to please find some people to help you investigate if it is true. We will not want to see those kind of rude behavior in our street. The second one will be, we are happy about the street light at the King Square. If you will be patient enough to let us know, what would be the framework? Is it going to be only Benin City, or you are extending it to some major road that people will appreciate the good work you started? And finally, like they all said, you know, health is life. And if you go to a place like Dubai, your first 24 hours in the hospital is free. And they come pick you with helicopter, whatever it is that they will take you there, make sure that you are resuscitated. So can we borrow from them and you add it to your program? Let me leave that because other people have questions too. God bless you for the good work.
Thank you very much. I'm sure His Excellency will
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you for these great questions.
Thank you very much. I'm sure His Excellency will respond to all 3.
Right. As I said in my presentation, and as you all know, the world has changed. What happened to us in Nigeria and in Edo State? You had this mentality of that, you know, healthcare being very elitist. As long as you had your doctors in London, in Dubai, it didn't really matter what the situation of healthcare is at home, because you can always jump on the plane and go in and do your consultations, get your medicines. And many of you in the diaspora overseas never really helped, because it's any small thing, oh, mama, jump on the plane, please, 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 please come, you know? And that hasn't been the solution to our healthcare, healthcare challenges. But COVID exposed us, because it didn't matter how much you had, you couldn't leave. So it meant that we had to do something to fix. And what are the real problems? Healthcare is not cheap. Everywhere in the world, somebody has to pay. So what most countries have done, and which has sustained a lot of our, which has attracted a lot of our own healthcare practitioners, is this whole issue of health insurance. We are fortunate that we have a fairly young population, right, that will not fall ill regularly. Why not let's get everybody to pay something, no matter how small. you know? So we have now launched a healthcare insurance system, a healthcare insurance scheme, and there are different plans. So for 50 naira a day, which comes to 250 naira a week, which comes to 1,000 naira a month, which comes to 12,000 naira a year, you can have a plan, which means that once you are ill and anything happens to you, you get your care instantaneously. Yes, there are some people who may not be able to afford 50 naira a day. That the federal government, working with the federal government, they don't have a scheme, what we call a basic healthcare provision fund. But the important thing is, let's begin to move towards what is happening everywhere else in the world, where first somebody needs to pay. Once you are paying, then you find out that you're able to retain your own healthcare practitioners here. You can't pay your doctors peanuts and expect that. I mean, they are globally competitive, they'll go abroad. So we need to improve their conditions. We need to pay them well, pay them more than we are paying them now. And we can only do that when we open up the healthcare space. One thing I realized just working with all my healthcare professionals in Edo throughout the COVID period, because every day at 9 a.m. for more than 1 year, I had what we call a COVID call to try and find out what the situation is across all our hospitals and across our whole healthcare chain. And what I found was quite frightening. But I said, okay, it's not because these people are not competent. Today they are being hired. Many of them are going abroad. If they were not good, they will not go abroad. So why not create the same condition that they are going to meet abroad at home? Why must we also always focus on the poorest of the poor and not get the people who are rich, who can afford to travel abroad, to also contribute to paying for those who cannot? So it's about building a system that is a normal system. In Ghana, the healthcare system works. In Togo, it works. Let us just build something that works. And it means, therefore, that we must put in the right investment. People must pay. Those who cannot pay should be provisions should be made for them. That way we can retain our professionals, because we can pay them, even if we are not paying them the top dollars they will receive abroad. But if you pay them something that is reasonable, who wants to travel? Who wants to live home? The other thing we're doing is rebuilding our healthcare facilities. We've just finished with we finished with the School of Nursing, and like someone said, the School of Nursing we have built in the Benin City easily is one of the best. I think if I challenge anyone to, it's about the best in the country today. The simulators we have, the equipment we have, will train our nurses to work anywhere in the world. The same thing we want to do with our hospitals. Make sure we have the right equipment, make sure we have the technology, so that when you even have difficult cases, there's no reason why some of our brothers and sisters who are abroad cannot consult with their co-professionals locally. Telemedicine is a common practice everywhere. So we as government need to make the investments in our healthcare infrastructure. That's why I laughed, I mean, at the joke, which was very expensive, when people say we're breaking down a hospital, a 90-year-old hospital. I mean, we have built a specialist hospital. You have 2 hospitals in the same premises. One is 90 years old, one is 5 years old. We are trying to break down the 90-year-old one and move it to the 5-year-old one, so that we can get better healthcare and better quality services. And as usual, the defeated politicians who don't have anything doing go on social media and they make it a big issue. Those who cannot afford, like I said, there's a basic healthcare provision fund in place. Let me talk about, you've talked about agberos. Let me talk about security, because I see it as part of the security challenges we're having. We are working very hard to make sure that we establish law and order. We have not taken our eyes off the ball. We're just re-strategizing and restructuring. But how many federal police officers do we have in Edo State? They are just not enough to cover the state and provide the kind of security we have. So maybe, and right now we're working with the police. We have hired constabulary constables. We are now working at the community levels to train our vigilantes and also get them to work closer with the police. Once we do that, we'll get better hold of the security situation. So far, so good. As I speak today, we spent quite a lot of money and resources on fixing the police training facilities in Ogida Barracks. And from the middle of this month, we'll begin to send our vigilantes, send our constables, and even the police for regular and constant training. And also, we're working on setting up what we call our own intelligence bureau, where we can gather information from the streets, process it, and give it to the security agencies to deal with, all the security challenges we have. We're also working with the judiciary to get them a lot more efficient. We're trying to strengthen our magistracy so that as we, find people who are run against the law, we can quickly arrest them and in a civil manner, try them, and then bring them to book. In terms of street lights, as you know, we've had challenges with electricity, and our challenge is very unique because Edo State is the electricity hub of the country. What is electricity? You need fuel to generate, and then you should be able to distribute. Edo is one of the few places in Nigeria today where the fuel supply meets the distribution or transmission. So Edo is gas hub of the country. It's also a transmission hub. So Edo is one of the cheapest points to generate electricity in Nigeria because it costs you $1 million a kilometer of pipeline of gas, costs you $1 million per kilometer of transmission line. In Edo State, both meets, transmission meets gas. So it's one of the cheapest places to produce. We also have onshore gas. Most of the gas in Nigeria is either in the swamps or the deep offshore. But you can go to many locations in Edo today, just locate a generator. The gas is there, you can get the gas and generate. That is what we have. So we've, like I said, did the transaction with with Osimo Power, where we purchased 5 megawatts just to encourage them to get going. Don't forget that we also have almost 1,000 megawatts between Azura and Ihobo, the bypass, and most of that is not being taken up. And so for electricity, we have the electricity. And so what we're trying to do is put it out there for our people to use. We're using it to power our government offices, and at night, we'll use it to power the streets. We have a program where we just started, so that people can see it is real, it works. Our first phase is to connect about 40 kilometers of street lights around Benin City in the main street areas. And then we will now get community participation. For those people who want to extend from the main grid into their streets, they will have to pay something and we'll extend it to them. But clearly they don't have to pay for the lights at night. Government will continue to do that. We are looking at locations, power locations like Iroa, where we have a substation, Auchi, and Edo North, where we have the cement companies, Okpila, we have substations there. And we're trying to have arrangements where we can purchase power. If we can purchase power from the grid, then we'll be able to extend to other cities across the state. We are working on creating a domestic electricity market. So we have a law out, a bill out to the House of Assembly. We want to create our own electricity market because we have enough electricity. We don't have to wait for anybody from outside. But we need the laws to do that. We're working on that now. We're creating our own independent electricity commission and independent electricity regulatory agency. By the time we do all of that, the grace of God would have created a framework to get electricity to our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I will now call on Uncle Sonny Rabo to take us through the next batch of 3 questions. Mr. Sonny Rabo, please. Uncle Sonny, are you there? Okay, while we wait for Uncle Sonny, please, can we quickly unmute Collins OBASEKI? And that will be quickly followed by Dr. Grace Ugeho Inoma. And after Grace Ugeho Inoma, the next person will be Ibuede Evans. Please, let's unmute them in that order. Collins OBASEKI, Dr. Grace Ugeho Inoma, and Ibuede Evans. Collins OBASEKI, are you there?
Can you unmute, please, Collins?
The host should please make sure he doesn't mute people. I was supposed to speak, but I was muted by the host. So please note. Thank you.
This is Collins Usazua. I don't think I'm the one that's supposed to be on mute.
Collins OBASEKI is on the list here that we have. Can we quickly move on to...
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, My Excellency. Good evening, all viewers. Are you hearing me, guys?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, actually, I think, Mr. Governor, good evening, My Excellency. You've actually enlightened the area I'm very, very interested in. Because although healthcare is very important, but for me, light is one of the most important things in life. Because I actually saw what happened in Benin a few days ago when they put on the street lights. Oh my God. I tell you, light on its own will solve 50% security issues. If there is constant light, 50% security will be dealt with. So, My Excellency, I will plead on that area that, like you said, I want us to focus more and more on electricity. Because with electricity, 50% security will be solved. Thank you. God bless you guys.
Okay, please, can we get Dr. Grace Ugeho Inoma? Mr. Collins, please, please mute yourself.
Yes. Hello. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Your Excellency, for this great work. And especially, I want to thank you for the School of Nursing, that you've renovated. But the area I want to focus on is the rural area. We know that in Edo State, Benin City, Auchi were developed. How do we encourage those of us in diaspora to start focusing on the rural areas, on our villages, so that the villages will be developed like Benin, so we have multi-cities instead of just focusing in Benin City? Thank you, Your Excellency, for the great work you're doing.
Thank you very much. I know His Excellency is taking notes. Please, can we unmute Ibuede Evans?
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, viewers all over the world. Yeah, my name is Ibuede Evans. Your Excellency, thank you so much for touching on the area of security and healthcare. Please, my question is this. I'm from Wonde, precisely. In North. Please, Your Excellency, if you look at Wonde as a local government, most especially EC, as is, the traffic flow there in terms of people living there is becoming so very low on a daily, yearly basis. Your Excellency, we have vast majority of land over there. Do you have any plan for us in Wonde, at least if it is oil palm production? Because we have somewhere around this river, close to the river there, we have a very huge land they call Agric then in that river. So I don't know what plan you have for us in that axis, at least to open up that area. That's what I want to know, Your Excellency. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Over now to His Excellency. Your Excellency, are you still there, sir? Hello.
Okay, thank you. Now you muted me. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I agree with Collins that energy is key. You know, I mean, without energy, without electricity, there's not much you can do. That's why over the last 4 years, we have been in this battle to see how we can be self-sufficient in electricity. The good thing, the luck we have is that, like I said, we are generating enough electricity in Edo. In Benin City alone, between Azura, Ehovo, and Osiomo, there's more than 1,000 megawatts, but nobody's picking them up because the distribution company is not interested. So that is why the state has stepped in, and thank God we're making progress. You know, it took us 2 years fighting with BDC to be able to get a license to get Osiomo up and running. Now that we have, yes, we expect that they will still fight, but we are ready to make sure that we do all it takes to get electricity to our people. The rest, just rest assured, we will do it. We are generating, the electricity is there. There are people who are helping us with the generation, with the transmission. Is now how to now deliver the electricity to homes. Rural areas, let me tie that with the question from Evans. So, interestingly too, as you know, my roots are also in EC, so I have great interest in rural development. But we've looked at it realistically. There must be businesses, there must be commercial entities, otherwise people will not go back to those rural areas. So we are working very hard. I want to assure you there's a company called Fayuz. It's and some Malaysians as we speak who they just allocated a bit more land to them. They have started their oil palm production. They're doing 5,000 in the first instance, and I think they want to expand to about 15,000. So we're encouraging more people to go in. Well, I'll try and spend time to explain what we're doing on the oil palm side. We have a program called the Edo State Oil Palm Production Program, where we're bringing in investors, organizing them in a very special way, to now encourage them to bring investments. Yesterday, I did a presentation to COP26 in Glasgow, trying to make them understand how we're attracting investments into oil palm and then also using it for forestry regeneration. We're doing a lot. I'm very, very interested in the rural areas. I'm very interested in building alternative towns to Benin City so that we can disperse the population and get people to live, decently instead of what is going on and everybody killing themselves today to try and get land, doing all sorts of funny transactions and land grabbing when there's a lot more land outside of the city area. So I'm aligned. It's part of our regional planning, which we're working on as we speak. And hopefully in the next few months, we will unveil this regional plan to Edo people to see what the government's plan is for each community, rural or semi-rural.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Yes, Mr. Sonny Irabo, over to you, sir. Please call the next.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to call now on Mr. Dennis Era, or Dennis Era, depending on the tone of the name. Dennis, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know whether we can hear me.
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to first and foremost thank the governor for being readily available for his for the state, because it's very difficult to see a governor who is on ground. As we are holding this program, the governor is right there, listening to the yearnings of his people, and that's the kind of governor that we really want. I want to thank him for that. We also want to thank him for his developmental strides in the state. We are seeing developments in the states that weren't there before now. So that's a welcome development. My area of my question is on CFO issuing. Before now, we noticed the CFO comes out within a month or two. But in recent times, we have areas where people put in for CFO, certificate of occupancy, and for months upon months, those certificates are not issued. I don't know whether he can try and work on that area again, because people were most interested in getting lands and developing them in those of us that are over here in diaspora. But in recent times that you have delays, that's a kind of a setback of many people that want to develop land there. Thank you.
I'm sure you have two other names.
Yes, Osasu Owen. Osasu Owen is the next name, please. Go ahead, unmute yourself and ask.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Good evening, everyone. My area is on the mentioned Tesla Your Excellency talked about during his speech. Now, we all can agree that Tesla is going up due to consistency in projection. Now, I want to ask in terms of electricity and projection, Your Excellency, what is the state doing to eradicate generators and give the citizen light in terms of projection? Would you be able to say 2030, just like UK has said, 2030, no more petrol cars, no more diesel cars, and say 2050, and those states should be free of generator? Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you. And the next name is Lawrence Oihena. Lawrence Oihena, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to appreciate and I want to say thank you to Your Excellency. You've done so well. Most importantly, my question is based on Ubiaja, your promise to Ubiaja people. On two, three occasions, you've promised Ubiaja Uboa Road. The last occasion was during your campaign in September. You said Ubiaja Uboa Road contractor has been a contract has been awarded. You even go as far as telling us that Ubiaja Udo Road is also on the pipeline. It is over 1 year now. Ubiaja Uboa Road, the contractor you promised that has been awarded, the contract you promised that has been awarded, no contractor is on site. People from Ubiaja cannot access Uboa. Uboa cannot access Ubiaja for the past 20 years, not just your tenure. For the past 20 years, it has been difficult for us. If you want to go to Uboa, you have to go through another local government, which is unfair. Every administration that has come and gone use that road as a campaign. And I remember also that you are from Ubiaja. Believe it or not, you are from Ubiaja. That I appreciate, sir. Thank you.
If you are not talking, please, can you unmute? I mean, can you mute yourselves, please?
Thank you. Can I take those 3 questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, let me start from the last one.
Hello,
Lawrence.
good evening. Okay. Hello?
Lawrence, I can now. But yeah.
Hello, sir. Do I just
yeah. So in terms of the Uboa Road, I have awarded that contract. The contractor is mobilizing to site. The contractor is Mr. Scarf. As a governor, I will not say what I will not do. And like you said, I grew up in Ubiaja, so it's home for me too. I have a house there. My grandmother gave me a house in Ubiaja. So when I commit, we'll do it. It rains in the last, as I speak to you today, it rained in Benin again. So it's been difficult for contractors to mobilize. Right now we had expected that most of them will be on site to be dry season. Today is November 7th, right? And it is still raining. It rained this morning. 3 days ago, there was a storm because of climate change. So it has been awarded, it will be done. The contractor, this dry season will begin the preparations and you will see. So don't worry. Huh? In case of CFO delays, I will check because CFO files do not spend more than 48 hours on my desk. So I'm going to set up in place a system to track so that if you find, to just track to see when people submitted their applications and when their CFOs were released. We promised less than 60 days, and there is no delay from my end. And if I am not delaying, there cannot be and should not be delayed from the system. I will check and also set up an ombudsman system where complaints can come to directly so that I can find out what's going on with. But I'm sorry if there's been delays. It is, we will check. I know, in fact, this weekend I signed over 300 CFOs between yesterday and today. So we don't delay on my end, and I'll find out where the delay is coming from. The person who asked about electricity, give me 6 months, and I'll be able to tell you when we've done all the studies and all the work, the Electricity Commission is up and running. I will be able to definitely give you some estimate by which time I will be able to deliver electricity to every home in Edo State and make sure that they don't now require to use generators. In 6 months' time, based on the studies we're doing, based on the work, I'll be able to give you that answer.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Dr. Loretta will now take us through the next batch of 3 questions. Dr. Loretta, are you in?
Yes, she's in. She's back in.
Let me quickly apologize to our audience. We are sort of having some issues with attempt to hack this program, but we are dealing with it very effectively as much as possible. And so please, let's cooperate with us. If you are not talking, mute yourself, please. Dr. Loretta, over to you, ma'am. Yes, you can mute yourself, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to call the next set of people. Please, if we are not speaking, can we kindly mute ourselves and let the questions be brief? Princess Omonigo Olumese, you will be next. Abibu Sumaila will come after that, as is Semai Erio, who will come on. Dr. Tony Agbons will take some charts after these 3, and His Excellency can take all of them together. So please, if we have Princess Omonigo Olumese on mute, please. You are still muted.
Yes, thank you. I would say evening or afternoon to everyone, depending on where you are. My Excellency, this is Princess Omonigo Olumese from the Maryland. My question has to do with the Uromi Hospital. We came together from all over the world, people from Eastern Land, and we've been building that hospital. We've been rebuilding. We've sent in so many things. We have fixed almost everything on one part. We have fenced the wall, the whole hospital. We have spent millions. We have sent you letters upon letters. You have not responded to one. And we have been able to open up twice. We have asked your office if you can send just one person to be there. The governor has not done anything. Then Bishop Matthew Otbevolo actually built a place also where people can come if they have an accident. He's been equipped. He has done so much. He has written letters. The governor and your office has not responded for once. So I would think if you want people from all over the world to come back home and invest in our land, why is it so difficult for your office to respond to emails? I have done several emails, as I am the secretary of this group. I'm also the general secretary of the Uromi daughter. So I'm writing on behalf, I'm talking.
Okay, let me just go. Loretta, let me answer this before I take. You see, when we disregard government and we feel like we don't care about government, people in government are stupid, they don't have sense, they don't know what to do, this is what happens. You cannot just on your own come in and build things in hospitals, build this, as if there's no government and you're not integrating and connecting with government. And that's what we're trying to stop. Government should have a plan. And you should now share and be kicking and be part of that plan of government. When you go and build, a facility and government is not aware, how is government going to now staff that facility? How are we now going to run the facility? So the fact of government failure in the past does not mean we should continue it. I think the first thing is for citizens to even respect government and say, okay, we want to do this. What is your plan for healthcare? For us, just as we've done with Specialist Hospital in Benin, that's what, so Urome Hospital and a few others are in the works. So you just can't come and build and write and say, come and do this. You've got to, if you want to adopt the hospital and take it and run it as a private, then come in, because we're in the process of concessioning those hospitals and get them to run in a certain way. But it's not, I don't think it's fair and it's respectful when you don't, in conception, talk to government when you're doing something. And you just say, oh, we've done, we've called, I will come and commission. So how do I now integrate that into our plan? So I think the message for the diaspora is great to help, it's great to assist, but talk to government when you are trying to do this and see what their plan is. If government has not been responsive in the past, it does not mean we are continuing that way. We have a plan. We've been sitting down and conceiving a plan, and it is important. Let's discuss that plan. Let's agree on that plan before people begin to do what they decide. We will come to you and say, we need this hospital furnished. We need this hospital provided for. Please respect government and let government know, and not just think that people in government are stupid, they're incompetent, they don't know what to do. Please.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for that immediate response. We'll go on to the next person, Abibu Sumaila. Can I just ask that if your questions have been taken, kindly put down your Zoom hand. And please, Samari, you'll get ready. Abibu Sumaila, please. And Samari, you'll get ready. And Dr. Tony Agons, get ready to take some chats as well after Samari. If our people is not ready, we can take Samari first. All right then, if none of them is ready, let's go on to Osaze Imasoge, please. Osaze Imasoge.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Our governor, I'm so happy to be here today to have this opportunity. Thank you very much for giving us details of all you have said. And I want to also thank everyone that have made this program successful to put them together. My question is in the area of art and culture. I want to ask the governor, what is the Ministry of Art and Culture doing about the monumental structure or the statues we have in the city? A lot of them are falling apart. I was shocked to see one of them a few days ago that in the ring road, that one of the structure is already falling upon the king sitting down with two lions. I was shocked. I said, is there a ministry to maintain or to manage them? Or is it because it's just in public and it's not generating any money to the government? And I believe that many people are coming to the city sometimes just to view the city and see how it is, the way we talk about the Benin city being an historical city, only to come and discover that most of these structures are already old, they are not managed, they are not maintained, and some of them are already falling. And the other day I saw the hand of, whether it's Idi, I don't know, was already falling. One of the hand is already chopped off. So it's not a good sight for people to see that structures are incomplete. And I want the governor to see that, I know it's a governor, but there's a ministry in charge to put them together to ensure that they have to give a constant maintenance to those structures regularly so that the city will look as an historical city. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we have Semario if he's there now, unmuted? Thank you, Osaze Masugi. Abibu Sumaila. All right, if we don't have them, then can we have Ehidiame Etomi, please? Your hand has been up. Idiame Etomi, unmute. I've unmuted you.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for this forum and this opportunity to speak to you and hear your ideas. I just wanted to pick up on the point.
Mr. Hidiame, please, could you put on your video, please? It's part of the protocols, please.
Sure.
We'd like to see who's asking the question, please.
No problem. Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, or good evening, should I say? Sorry, good afternoon. Thank you for the time. I just wanted to pick up on the point that was raised earlier in regards to the rural electrification of Edo State, and basically what is the government's appetite in working with companies that are happy to do this, and what kind of technology or discussions are in place to help with this going forward. I just asked because we have some data that has been collated for Edo State, and we've had some, sites where we believe alternative technology can be used, such as solar energy, to help with the light situation. I just wanted to find if the government has any appetite to do this going forward, and if it's something that is on the horizon, and if it is, how do we engage and speak to the government to push things forward and share some ideas that we have to continue Edo's push to be one of the leading states in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dr. Tony Agbons, if you take a number of charts with this now, so His Excellency can just take all of this together, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Loretta. So these are from the charts. I have this one from Egosa Orobato. Your Excellency, is there any plan to correct the issue of land fraud in Edo State, activities of community chairmen, which has become a disincentive to investing in real estate in our state? So that's from Egosa Roberto. This one is from Princess Omonigo Olumese. She's talking about the Edo Best program. She's asking, Your Excellency, are the rural schools exempted from this program? And then this last question, I just picked from the chat from Lawrence Weaver. He said, Dear Governor OBASEKI, what is the current status of the development plans to open up the riverine areas of Ikobaoka local government area from Ologbo to Ajoki to unleash the commercial potentials therein? So those are the three I've picked here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for those questions. Let me just quickly try and run through. In terms of, monuments, somebody asked about monuments and the ministries. When you find out that government is not delivering services, there's a reason why. Means that those agencies, those ministries, those people who have been given the responsibility are not doing what they're supposed to do. That is why we have spent time in the last 1 year to fix this. Rather than going about trying to make excuses and complain, we've said, let's fix the engine. And going forward in the next few months, going forward in the future, all of these will change because we now have people responsible. You'll be able to go on our website, you're going to go into the portal, go to the Tourism Commission portal, you see the person in charge of monuments, and then we'll be able to query that person. So all of this will be fixed. We didn't want to be dealing with these issues on an ad hoc basis. We wanted a holistic approach to our development. So all of whether they be schools, whether it be monuments, we're now getting people in charge, holding people accountable, people responsible, so that, for them to do the work they're being paid to do. Hidame talked about rural electrification. Yes, we are. For instance, we are at this point looking at how to provide electricity in all our primary healthcare centers in the rural areas. The issue for us is price. If we can get good pricing such that it makes sense, it is much cheaper to use alternative energy instead of the traditional diesel power generators, of course we'll look at. The other thing, we're also thinking about what is the best way to, approach this problem. How should we contract? Should we just buy power from you? I've tried it, we've been negotiating with some companies to say, look, we're not interested in owning the solar cells, owning the battery. If you're going to sell power to us, what will be your price per kilowatts of power in using alternative energy? So those are the issues we are discussing at this point. But certainly, alternatives are critical and key too. And the Electricity Commission, when it's set up, will be the ones to drive these conversations further. Land fraud, land grabbing is a big issue, which we're dealing with. The Inspector General of Police was here, I discussed it with him. He's given us two special squads to deal with this. Next week, I'll be inaugurating the committee because we have, by law, we've set up a committee or task force on private protection, about private property protection law, which protects properties of private citizens. That committee would be headed by a judge, will be set up. The law stipulates a 10-year jail term for people who sell other people's lands and other properties. And that committee will be set up. I have actually gotten accommodation. I'm going to see the IG to get that team deployed. And we will deal ruthlessly with any community and any individuals who are currently involved in land grabbing. It's a very, very serious matter. And so we are preparing. We're having two special squads, well armed, and we'll go community by community to handle and deal with these people, no matter how highly policed they are in our community. And we will send as many of them to jail so that we can curb this incident. On the rural areas, like rural schools are part of Edo West. In fact, that is the strength of Edo West, because what is being taught in the schools in Benin City are the same thing being taught in all the rural schools. And believe it or not, the rural schools seem to be doing better, in terms of learning outcomes, than the urban ones. So if there are any specific areas, schools that we haven't reached, there are just very few of them, because we've reached about 1,100 schools. There are very few that are outside, because you have some communities where you just have maybe 50 children in the school. It's then difficult to now have, implemented OBASEKI. So we're trying to see how we can have multi-grade learning approach for those schools. We don't have enough pupils in those schools, in those communities. Except in those cases, we are reaching out to every community in the state with Edo West. As for the question on riverine rural areas, Najoki, the good news is that as we speak, we're in partnership with Sopadec and a company that is drilling in that area. And we've gone into a joint venture, and we're actually building the Ajoki Road as we speak. Just pray that the rates subside so that the contractors can continue with their work. Those areas are going to be opened up. Those are areas of growth and expansion. So don't worry, it's something we're working on.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Yes, the next batch of three, we have Clement OBASEKI, and that'll be followed by Omoime Philip and Fred Akoma in that order. Please, can we unmute Clement OBASEKI? Clement, are you there? Okay, if it's not there, please, can we go to...
I'm here. Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, everybody in the house. I want to thank you for this opportunity. I recently just moved into the UK barely 2 weeks ago, so I think I have some basic questions I could ask from Benin. Sadly, I stay at Ubuyoko. I want to draw the government's attention to Ubuyoko Road. I think when they just started, we commended the governor's efforts so far. But you found out from a Obama Market Road to Igile was tied. But Not up to 3-4 months, you had failed portion at our junction or thereabouts, which has become deplorable at the moment now. So I want to ask the government, what is it doing? And how long will it take to deliver these projects? Because it's a lot of hell, people coming out from there to Ring Road daily. Before I came here, I know we'll go through driving down that place. Morning, evenings, traffic and jam, you pay 2 times transport fare, your driving is a hell. So I want the government to at least, those failed parts where they've just spoke on barely 3 months ago, you should also ask them to refill it because it's becoming an issue at our junction to access a Ekama Road. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, we equally have, please let's unmute on Menime Philip.
Hello, good evening, everybody. God bless you all. My name is Omenime Philip. I want to draw the governor's attention back to the rural area because this is where I'm mostly interested in. Concerning this situation of the securities in the, when you talk of the rural area, like the Equipment local government, the herdsmen situation on that area, their activities on that area, and they're going to Uromi. What is the governor doing about it? I heard he make mention that we are having limited security, but 3 days ago, I got an information how the Edo State Police mobilized 1,000 police to Anambra State for the election of just 2 days. But in this rural area, they are killing people. People are dying on a daily basis. So what is the governor doing about this? God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's get Fred Akoma unmuted, please. Fred Akoma.
Fred is unmuted.
Yes, Mr. Fred, go ahead, sir. Fred Akoma, can you hear me?
I'll go to the next person.
Okay, quickly, let's get. I'm sure it's having some.
I'm at work. That is why.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I'm at work. That is why.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm okay. I'm from so I
can't hear. I think we'll go to the next person. His line is breaking.
Fred Akoma, apologies. We barely hear you. Please, can we just mute him so that we can move on to the next person? Let's quickly unmute Max Ogiego. Max Ogiego. Max Ogiego, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, His Excellency. Comrade and show, I salute you. My question is regarding the way price of materials, food items skyrocket every day in our state. Is really affecting our people. Please, His Excellency, please, sir, if there's any way the government can look into our market people, the beauty materials, those who are in charge of foodstuff, the market women, because we all learn that they have their unions. So most of the time, we all place all error on government. But we also understand that our people are also in charge of all this inflating price every day. Please, His Excellency, sir, if there's any way the government can look into this union of the team so that they can control, we can have a price control so that the common people can also survive in the state. Thank you, sir. Thomas, sir, what about, sir?
Thank you very much. Yes, over to His Excellency.
Thank you very, very much. Let me take this very, interesting questions. One touched on infrastructure roads, one touched on security, and one talked about food prices and agriculture and food prices. My people, I think we should step back and just reflect on all the questions we've been asking. This is just a general, when we all sit back and say, okay, what is government doing? What is government doing? What is government doing? That has been the approach in the past. I think we must now begin to rethink that approach to say, look, how can we help government to do, right? Because what government is doing is to try and strengthen government to deliver on what you expect. Because today, I will be the first to admit, I've never always been in government. What you call government is a shadow of itself. So if we do not fix government, we've removed the godfathers from politics, who used to just, behave anyhow, do anyhow, give this person work, whether the person can do the work or not. You must all now support me to look at the entrails, the inside of government, to get this government to work. You can't be blaming government that does not exist. You can't be blaming government that you are not investing in. Out of almost 5 million people in Edo State, less than 200,000 pay taxes. So where is this government going to get money to do all these things they are expecting them to do? How can you help? How can you participate in this reform? That is one way I expect us to all begin to think as we intervene. But specifically in the area of Guyoko, we have one of our best contractors, Heartland, building that road. They have not abandoned, they have not left open them. The challenge you have, like I said, is that every time they want to go to site, the rains come. So they've had to wait to say, look, let us just wait. Instead of wasting money doing, let us wait, let the weather change, and then we can now go ahead and do what we need to do. Nothing has failed. It's like, okay, what they're supposed to, they've done all the drainage, right? And I've intervened, I've gone to them, and there's no problem with that contractor or that contractor. The challenge we're having is weather. If somebody told me that, if you are arguing about climate change, come to Edo, climate change is real. November 7th, it is still raining as if it is in June or July. How can contractors go and work? And road construction, asphalt, they don't like water. They don't go with water at all. So it's not a question of funding. We've given them money. We have the money to pay. The contractors are competent. It's just timing. With the issue of security, where I say, look, at the end of the day, most security is local. Nobody from outside can come and secure you. Nobody knows your domain, your home better than you. So the long-term solution to security is us getting the locals more involved, giving them more authority and giving them the backup. We are saying we must restructure the Nigerian security system. It is not coping, it is failing. Somebody from Abuja cannot come and secure you in your village, in Boimi or wherever you said, wherever you're looking at. So we are investing, we are getting the communities to invest, we are training, we're doing all the, it's security, I can't tell you the amount of investments and things we're doing. But most people will agree that the security situation today in Edo State is much better than it was 6 months or a year ago. And it will only get better. I agree with you on food prices and people and cartels who are pushing up food prices. But my own view is that we as government, we want to give more incentives, we give more support for people. Then those who are trying to hoard will be out of business. So I will continue working with the various agencies to now see how we can support farmers and farming. And also one of the things I'm doing now is what we call the Independent Farmers Initiative, where we've given people inputs, we're going to help them prepare their land, we're giving them fertilizer, and we're also promising to buy back the food from them. And that hopefully we can now develop a commodity market along the line. These things we will get through them, we will overcome them.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I will now hand over to Mr. Sonny Rabo to take us through the next batch of questions. Uncle Sonny, are you there, sir?
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. We have Mr. Israel Asebuta, who's the next person. Please go ahead, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Please.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, good evening,
Yes.
good evening, gentlemen. Your Excellency, good evening. Thank you for this e-town hall meeting. And I'm very pleased. My name is Israel Samota. I'm representing Naija worldwide. And my first question is this. Mr. Governor, I am still going to talk about the insecurity, if you permit me. The insecurity in our state right now.
Mr. Israel, sorry, sir. Let me quickly remind you that you have 60 seconds, sir.
Yes, yes. The insecurity right now, we pledge to maintain law and order. And the insecurity right now in our state is very, very damaging. Right now, the herders and farmers, they are clashing right now, and it's causing a lot of damages, and people are dying. Now, Mr. Governor, what is your administration putting in place to make sure that this thing does not occur? And why are you not signing? Why is your administration not signing the bill into law? Because 98% of Edo people want the open grazing law to be signed. And the second of it, or the infrastructure, the road. The road in Ekenwan Road right now, it is still going on. And you said in your statement saying that everything is done, it's just the surface, and the money is there. Why is the project still not completed? Edo people are worried. Thank you.
Thank you, Israel. I just wish you were listening. I just finished talking about that. And please, it's important that everybody listens carefully when other people are talking, so you don't repeat yourself. We've just talked about the Ekenwan Road and Wilfo Road and the challenges that they face, right? I said, look, I don't know where you are, but when you're in Nigeria, you have what you call dry season, don't you? The dry season will start by the first week in October. Or today, as I speak, I said this morning it still rained. 2 days ago there was a storm in Benin. How do you construct a road in that situation? You had the whole rainy, it's almost 6 months of rainy season. So we're working on that. The other issue about security, please, I'm using this opportunity to appeal to Edo people. Do not, you see, the way you treat your own, what you say about yourself is what people take away. If you go out there and you begin to say, oh, Edo is very unsafe, it's very insecurity, that is what people will take. Meanwhile, when you look at the ranking, Edo is not, when you look at it, compare Edo to any of the other states around us, we're much better. We're not saying we're perfect, but when Edo people go out, do not become, for whatever reason, castigate and say things and bring down Edo down, what do you expect other people to say? There is security, but there's insecurity, and there's a perception of insecurity. Lagos is not safe. It's not the safest place to be. But you never hear on television, on radio, people say, oh, Lagos is not safe, don't go there. And I think so for you, particularly people like you in Israel who are in the media, it is important that you help us. Do not do not carry negative information about your own home, because people will take it from you. People will believe that that is what it is. Yes, Edo is not perfect, it's not the safest. But it's not the safest. Things are not perfect, totally, safe. But in terms of progress, we've made significant progress. And we have a formula. A couple of days ago, some school children were kidnapped on their way from school. And within the community, the vigilantes and the police, they've gone in and released them, and we've tracked all of them. These are the sort of things we should be emphasizing for our own good and our own future. In terms of the anti-corruption bill, they said, look, we had a town hall meeting. I can't, for me, it is wrong to promulgate a law you cannot enforce. So we went out, we had a town hall meeting to say, yes, we don't want open grazing, but what is the alternative? And so that we can police whatever law we put in place. If I say, I don't want to see any cow, being grazed, in the open, then what am I saying? Am I either saying, I don't want to eat beef in Edo State, I don't want milk, or this is the area the cows should go to if they come, and who is ready to give their land? These are fundamental issues. We called everybody, called the Christians, everybody, so that we can discuss it and debate it. I'm not looking for cheap political victory. To say, oh yes, I've issued anti-bribery. It's very easy to pass a law. So does that solve the problem? I'm your governor, you trust me. That's why you voted, you allowed me to become your governor. And there's if a real problem, we have to sit down and look for ways to resolve the problem, and not look for political cheapskates to say, oh yes, we've signed, everybody's signing anti-grazing bill, therefore we'll go and sign it. Whether it works or not, it doesn't matter.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Yes, over to you, Sonny.
Next person is Abiyewa Obaraye.
Okay.
Abiyewa Obaraye, please submit yourself and go ahead.
Domo, My Excellency, thank you so much. My name is Abiyewa Obaraye, and I'm speaking from California. I want to thank you for your vision and all you've been doing, especially regarding the tree planting in Sakomba, and that is a source of job creation and also revenue. So I have two questions, quick ones, sir. One is regarding waste management. What are your plans regarding that area? Because waste management, I know, is also going to be a source of job creation, revenue, and cleaning the environment. Then the second question is regarding, like you said, the climate change that has affected the state. And with this climate change, there's a lot of rains every day. And this rain is bringing in a lot of erosion, you know, destroying properties and lives and everything. So is it possible for us to have an overhead bridge in like Atugbowo, you know, that is the gateway of Edo State. If we can have a bridge there, overhead bridge there. And another area is Upper Sakomba. That one has been on, you know, right from Goreti Junction. When we're in school, you can't even go to that area. I think they used to call it, I don't know the name again, I've forgotten. So if we can have overhead bridge there and at Ugbo. Thank you, sir.
The next name is Daniel Okorua. Daniel Okorua, please go ahead. 1 minute. Daniel Okorua, please unmute Daniel Okorua, let him go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, His Excellency. I'm happy you talk about putting a system in place that can do a check and balance. I'm so proud of that, but I wanted to look into the maintenance culture. We can't be doing things and not remember maintenance culture. We can't be doing road and forget maintenance. So please, in your system that you are put in place, I want you to consider maintenance culture so that we don't take 5 steps forward and 20 steps backward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you now, Your Excellency.
Well, thank you. I think you touched on 2 very key issues. One is the issue of waste management and how we dispose of waste. I will be the first to admit that it's a challenge because we're seeing rapid urbanization, and because we don't have we have weak governments, particularly the local governments that should have been the main institution to deal with this issue of waste. We have been lagging behind. But what we have done is that we now have data, because under a program we call Data to Mega, we sent out young men and women across the states, major cities, to do enumeration of homes, businesses. So we have data. So we're working on a program now of how to rejig our waste collection system. But it's complex and expensive. So when we pick up waste from the homes, where do we transport the waste to? Is it directly to the dump sites? In the dump site, how do we maintain those dump sites? How do we separate waste? How do we process waste? There's a whole science to that which we're working on. And we will need funding to do this. So it's an area that we're working on, and we're going to be coming up very soon with the policies and the new measures we have put in place in terms of waste management in the states. You talked also about, I wasn't quite sure, you talked about climate change, you talked about breach. I didn't see the relationship of how that, but let me talk about the issue of planning and infrastructure. When we came in, we did not meet any plan. The last fiscal plan, the last fiscal master plan for Edo State, I'm not sure we've done any in Edo, was from Bendel, was done in 1973, and it has expired. So, so I'm sitting there, I'm looking for documents to see, could these settlements in all the uppers, let me see what the plan, you can't find any, because those areas were never planned. People just moved in, bought property, land from communities, and just built. That we're trying to avoid. So once we have proper planning, then we're able to determine where we need to have bridges, where we need to have expanded roads, and what have you. And then to say over the next 30 years, this is how we want our settlements around. These are the satellite cities we want to build. We need that plan, which we are putting in place, so that future governments have a guide. Today, government is reacting. Government is not proactive. It's like the people are the ones leading, rather than government leading. So with the planning we're putting in place, and thankfully within the next 1 year, we'll all come up, we'll launch. In fact, we will see these plans in action. It's not just documents. You'll see it in action. You say, okay, this area, this is supposed to be road, this is supposed to be school, you cannot build here, this is supposed to be drainage, so that we can, just like you find abroad, we can preserve our environment and our communities. Daniel talked about maintenance culture. I cannot agree with you more. I think it's also more than maintenance culture, it's also the attitude of people to government property. It's like, government property doesn't belong to anybody, so you can do anything you like. If anything, it's like, nobody cares. The people who are supposed to provide it don't care. The people you are providing it for don't care. So we need reorientation. There must be ownership, because you can't maintain what you don't feel that you own. That is the first thing, is that sense government is my own. Because people try to, people want the benefits, but they don't personalize, they don't see government as their own, and to do things and take steps to help preserve those assets. In government, we also we're laying a lot of emphasis on maintenance of roads, maintenance of public buildings. And we are part of the recruitment we're doing is in this light. So it's an area we're working on, and we hopefully we'll make success of what we're trying to do. I'm looking at the charts, and I've seen some comments on teachers in schools. Let me let you know that we are very aware, and we're doing something, and in fact, we have done something. What we've done is to start what we call a new teachers fellowship. We have gone to the various communities, and the process is on. We're still hiring teachers from the communities. Because one of the problems we had is that when you hire teachers centrally in Benin, they don't want to go to the villages to teach. So our plan now is going to the villages, going to the rural areas, hiring the teachers there, training them on a fellowship program, so that they can now stay in the schools in those communities. We've done the first 1,700, and I think we're still hiring more. So if we have not gotten to your communities, we will get there soon. So it's an area we're very, where we know about, and we're working hard towards resolving. I saw a few posts on a few charts on teachers and schools.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Just to add to the chart, you've taken a Rabok Godwin zone on teachers and their shortage and how you're managing it. There is one from James Odiase here, and I think he may have answered it, but he said, what is your clear strategy to leverage on Edo State competitive advantage? The fact that the Benin Auchi Road remains dilapidated is very concerning. What is the government doing, the federal government, to repair this road and ensure farm goods are evacuated to the market for economic prosperity and food security? In the same vein, Comrade Agbadion goes on to ask you in the chat, Your Excellency, sir, please, the general hospitals in the state need to be revamped. These hospitals and PHCs are very close to the grassroots. What are you doing about them? I think you're taking that as well to some extent. And then there's Benedita Ebwehi here. Benedita Ebwehi is saying that there is an overhead bridge at the front of Uniben, but the students would rather walk a mile to cross the road rather than use the bridge. What is the governor doing about this? And Bobby Obayuwana is saying that the Edo State, okay, this is actually a sentence, a statement. Edo State Waste Management Board is now very effective as refuse disposal has become more and more effective. And someone is also asking from the charts, I can't quite see the name, when is the local government elections going to be, Your Excellency? These are from the charts, and I will just take the next three so you can take it along with these charts, sir, if you don't mind. The next three people, Apostle Alfred Uyinosa, please could you take your question while Oberland TV gets ready? And Sema Rio, I heard you, you actually expressed displeasure, but you had earlier been called and you did not unmute. I'm sorry, but you have a second chance now. So please, can we have Apostle Alfred Uyinosa, Oberland TV, and Sema Rio in that order? Alfred Uyinosa, you're unmuted, sir. Okay, so we can move on to Sema Rio.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello. Yeah, hello.
Okay, go on, sir. Go on.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My governor, my lovely governor. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Apostle, sir, sorry, sir. Just part of the protocols. Could you put on your video, please? We'd like to see those. Okay, okay. Oh, sorry for that. All right, sorry for that. Yeah, good evening, sir. There is no light, so I'm using my torch. Good evening, sir. Your Excellency, my governor, and I keep calling you the Archbishop because of your level of intelligence to carry Edo State forward. I have been looking forward to an opportunity like this, where you can continue to communicate to the Edo people. And I believe, since Edo people will have heard from you and will continue to stand to ensure that our people get the right information. You know, when the right information is not being given out, demonic propaganda will continue to fly. And with your explanation this evening, sir, I believe Edo State, Edo people have gotten the message. Then from our own end, we will continue to support you to ensure that you succeed with God on our side. God bless you, my governor. I love you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Oberland TV, please, and Maxine. Thank you, Apostle Uyinosa. Oberland, please unmute.
Good evening, My Excellency. As we were talking before for here, we talk from Oberland TV and radio. And for here, you know, Our Excellency, we don't deny people Igbo. And the small one is everybody they hear that we not for this side. Our Excellency, we don't see and say, you don't do so many work, we say, all I don't see. I would don't see and say, many things for ground, they say, I never see touch to. As we therefore hear, since we listen to people as they talk, My Excellency, the question I be this one. We know, say, our Edo State, we get media where they call people, basically they communicate to other people for other places. But the question be this one, My Excellency, what thing the Edo State media personnel don't they do now to get in touch or to connect with the diaspora media so that make things basically they do for Edo State, make all eyes they reach out and make the truth basically for the matter basically they come out. So now this one be the question who they ask from Oberland TV, this one, My Excellency.
Thank you very much, Obalan. Semai Rio, you are next, and I've asked to unmute you, please. Dr. Agbons, could you unmute him? I think we are having technical issues.
Semai Rio, can you unmute yourself? His hand is still raised up.
All right, if he's not able to unmute, we can go on to the next person.
Dr. Osayemere Okumbawa.
Dr. Osayemere Okumbawa, please go ahead, please. We have about 40 more people who need to ask questions. So we need to be quick, please. Dr. Okumbawa is nowhere to be found.
I'm on now. Can you hear me?
Go on.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We're grateful for this opportunity to interact with you directly. I'm calling from the United Arab Emirates. In my growing up days, school sports were so good that a lot of us youths had our heroes amongst us who were footballers and other sports. I'm aware that the state has tried to activate sports already through the Deputy Governor's office, but I think we're not seeing enough of sporting activities to keep our secondary school people busy. A situation whereby we have secondary school sporting activity like leagues among secondary schools, active league, all different kinds of sports. This will keep many of these youths from vices. It will also help many of them to discover their talents that can make them professional athletes tomorrow, which are capable of any foreign exchange for the state and for those who are into sports. So I want to put as an advice across that school sports should be actively ongoing. We don't wait for once in a year time. So Your Excellency, please let them do more about school sports activity. It will reduce crime in our city. We have too many young people in secondary schools who do nothing and they go into crime. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Okumbawa. Your Excellency, I'm sure you can take all that back.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I think the federal government is working on concessioning some roads now, including the Benin-Auchi road, and it's one of the areas we're looking and working, and hopefully, even if they don't concession that road, we're also working on the possibility of creating a new alignment, a new interstate road that will link Benin, Ekpoma, and Edo North, because that is our lifeline, our artery. We need as much infrastructure to be able to reach out to people, like you said, go into the rural areas and be able to bring out food produce from the rural areas into the markets. So it's one area that's in the plan. And when you see the regional plan, the urban and regional plans we're putting in place, all of these are all elements that will be contained in the plan. Not just another document, but also how we can execute on this over the next several years. Like you said, development is not a sprint. It is not a one-day event. If governments before us have been doing this, we would have made much more progress. So we shouldn't beat ourselves too hard. We have started. Clearly, we know what is wrong. We know what we need to do. We're organizing government. We're organizing ourselves to be able to do what we need to do. Local government elections, once we settle, get all the commission, we finish with appointments and settle all our, issues and challenges that, politically, hopefully very early in the new year, we should be considering having those elections in place. We're also, like I said, doing a restructuring of the local governments themselves, because we have to be very careful. If we don't do something about the local governments themselves, the local governments today are technically unviable. They don't have enough money to even run. So if we don't restructure, we just go ahead and begin to have elections, bring people in. Local government, it has collapsed. That is the truth. Let me not hide anything from you. So we're now sitting down there looking at their revenue streams, the number of people they've employed. Let us clean that up. Let us just not rush and continue to do the things we need to do. If we don't have a viable, strong local government administration, there's no magic we can undertake as a state, because there's some very, very basic functions that the local government must undertake. But when you have a local government that has almost 700 staff and they cannot pay them, don't you think we should address those issues before we go and have elections? Elections in themselves will not address those issues. If anything, by the time you bring in political soldiers who are afraid to take decisions, the problem will just be compounded. This last set of local government officials or administrators left a debt of almost 12 billion after all we had done. Yes, some of it was as a result of COVID, but we need to address all of those, and we're doing that as I speak. School sports, I cannot agree with you more. We're working where actually the bill for the new sports commission is in its final readings in the State House of Assembly. Hopefully by next month, it should be out. So and part of the mandate of the Sports Commission is to promote school sports. First, to help us hunt for talent, and more importantly, to help take away our young people from the streets and get them physically active. As you know, we have almost 20 mini stadia across the state, and we're building more, and we need to put all of this to use. So we are very, very, we're aware, very cognizant, and doing something about it. Overland TV, I thank you. I thank you also, for this, your own comment about our communication. What we don't do with communication for government, we say, we look and say, okay, how government they even communicate, how they talk to people. Because we look at them, so this communication are two sides, 9 days. One is how government itself, they talk to themselves inside government. Because for government, one hand, left hand will they do something, right hand will know. Because they know they talk. There's no system in place. So make sure, say, this, one thing they happen for government, every people for government know. And if they know, they figure outside, go tell other people what in government they do. Then the other side of the communication, okay, how government they tell other people outside what they happen, in a way where everything come together, not be one person go say A, another person go say B within the same government. So what we don't do now, we don't set up what we call ECHO, Edo Communication Office, as part of the government. And this office, we get officers for every agency. So every day they will come, bring that information, what they happen. But to make this thing more effective, we can get website and portal where all this information will be on top. So that anybody like Overland TV, when you want information, if we enter that site, go to the portal, okay, say, this is what happened today, rainfall for this place, so the flood, okay, if you want to find out more about them, then the name of the officer when they in charge for environment, if we phone that one to say, what happened about the flood today, to say carry people or what's. So we say in the sense that first we don't organize ourselves as government to be able to make we feel gather information about what in government they do. Make sure, say, even us when the government, they even talk to each other, make we even know what they happen. Then also that's a system they to now, not be say we go not be propaganda. You did there. Any information you want, you can go inside yourself, go look, understand what they happen, and make your own opinion based on. So we get the Edo Communication Office, and you will hear more from us on that side.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Just to say to everyone in the house that we have exhausted 2 hours, but we still have a number of hands up. Not to worry, not to be angered. There will be another event and another occasion. So if Your Excellency is able to take 5 more and then we round up, and then next time we can have another session. Understandably, everybody cannot ask the question in one session. Can we take 5 more, sir? Okay, go ahead, please. All right, excellent. Can we have Kenny Bazwaye, GBKM, please, unmuted? And Charles Odion, please get ready. Femi Obano, get ready as well, and Esosa Ede Obarogi, as well as Ambassador Matthew BQ Wifo, in that order. Ken Bazwaye, please. You're unmuted, Ken. Go on. Thank you. you are not ready, can we go with Charles or John? I'll come back to Ken, that's why.
Okay.
Charles.
I'm ready. Okay.
Go on, Charles. Ken, get ready. We'll come back to you. Go on.
Thank you, Governor OBASEKI, Your Excellency, for the work you have done. And I'd like to say there are 4 things that determine the democracy in which we are. One is freedom of expression. You say what you want and you do it. Second is the ability to fix the government. The third one is power. And the fourth one is currency. The first one you've already dealt with, because people express themselves to vote you back as governor. So democracy is established in the Edo State. Thank you. You said you need ideas as to how to fix government, because if government is not fixed, your money will not go far enough. We'll give some of those ideas. You've also said you will do some things about power, and I think that needs to have a different market approach. If we are all allowed, we make some contributions. The last one, I think people don't realize that no matter what the governor does, the currency is not well managed. There's very little that the money can do. And the governor said something about the way the central bank was printing money. People shut him up. He didn't do anything. Now we know where the currency is. So it's not just for the governor to talk. We also must talk in our different areas to reinforce what he's saying. Thank you very much. Thank you. I finished.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have Ken Baswaye now? And in between, Your Excellency, Igwodala wants to know what is happening with Gelegele Port. Ken Baswaye, are you ready? All right, we'll go on to Femi Obano. Femi Obano, please.
Okay, thank you. I've been unmuted. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for taking the time to come talk to all the dope people across the world. I want to touch on the area of taxes. You had mentioned earlier briefly about this. My concern is I feel like Edo people are not fully conscientized on the importance of buying into the government, because we all have a part to play in making sure that our society is better. And, you know, we know that because in the Western world we live in, the reason that development keep going on here, year in, year out, is because everybody buy into it. So we all are stakeholders. We pay our taxes. By law, you have to. If you don't, then you have a problem with the government. But it seems that in Nigeria, and Edo in particular, people don't have this orientation. I think it's this duty of the government to conscientize people and make them understand that this is a duty that everyone has to participate in to make our government and our environment better. I'll give you a case in point. Recently, I was in Nigeria. I tried to go inquire how much taxes I was owing, even though I don't live there. I have a few properties there. I wanted to know how much I was owing in terms of land use taxes. And I went to Edo Gis, and it was almost a case of mockery. They were looking at me like I was crazy. Why am I coming in to ask those kind of questions? And at the end of the day, I had to escalate my quest to the director, and he wasn't available. And one of the expatriates, I think it's Stephen Carter, he intervened, and he was able to give me those information. And trying to make the payment was a bureaucratic mess. I think we have to have a system in place where you can just go in, log into a portal, and go in and make payments of land use taxes and any other taxes you may be owed. Because we know that revenue coming from the federal government is not enough to develop our state. And we all want the government to do this and do that and do all of these things, but the money is not enough.
Mr. Femi, can you please wind down? You've exhausted your 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. So I guess what I'm saying is we have to have a better system in place where we can go in and pay our taxes. We shouldn't make the process so difficult that
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi. We're going to move on to Esosa Ede Obarogi. Esosa. Unmute, please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Esosa from Geneva. Good evening, my dear Governor, Governor OBASEKI. Greetings to the House. Please, I would like to talk in Pidgin English. Sir, you are a banker, an investment banker for that matter. I'm of the opinion that you'll be of very good use in the idea of starting a diasporan bank, especially an infrastructural bank that we diasporans can fund directly and that the state can borrow from and we can use for developing our infrastructure at a very cheap rate. I don't know if you are interested. That's one of my ideas. I also want you to consider the fact that we need an international airport in Edo State because we are losing out to Lagos, Abuja. When we come in, we spend a lot of money before we get home. And when we are leaving, we still spend a lot of money out of Edo State. So if we can retain those expenses in Edo State, it will go a long way. The third question and the last one, sir, is when are we going to get potable water from our taps in our homes? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kenny Baswaye, please. In the interim, I want to say thank you to Yinka Garuba, Moza Isobakpolo, Uncle Sonny Rabo, Lamte Oriahi, and every other person behind the team on the government side and on this side that has made this possible. Ken Bazwaye, please go on. Ambassador Matthew BQ Wifo.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Can you all hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I just want to say, make a statement instead of asking a question. In my statement, when you came in the first time, everybody said you had seeds in your hand and that you've come to plant seeds, like in the civil service, like in infrastructure development, that you are planting seeds for the future. But I disagree with that. And I always tell people that what you have in your hand are not seeds, but you have a forest in your hand. And this is because in every seed, there is a tree, and in every tree, there is a fruit and flowers with seeds in them. And these seeds and flowers also give birth to more trees and more seeds. So this is why I'm very elated with meetings like this to educate your people and to make them understand and have a knowledge of what the government is doing. And I wish to tell all Edolites across the world that nothing in life is instant. People think that success is instant. It is not at all. Edo State has big potentials, untapped, unsourced. And that is what the governor is trying to bring out for his state. So please, I will tell everybody with what we have heard today to go back to our different places. And those who were sitting on the fence, please support this government to realize his mega agenda. And also, I want to encourage every Edolite. We only have one home in the whole world, and it is called Edo State. So we should think what we can do for Edo State and not what Edo State can do for us. Thank you, Your Excellency, for this day. God bless you, sir, as you continue to look at the state. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Just to mention that our head of service is with us, and I must thank him for facilitating this meeting as well. He's left comments on the chat, which I'm trying to bring up. Unfortunately, my technology is not playing up, Any of the other backroom staff, if you can read the HOS's comment, fine. But if you can't, the governor may just
Where did the HOS drop the message? Is it on the Zoom floor or Facebook?
On the Zoom floor chat, I think. I'm not able to scroll
Yeah, because
back.
I've seen a lot of the HOS has been answering a lot of questions on the. I think there's a lot of comment on. He's been really active there. Yeah.
Okay, apologies, HOS. I'm not able to scroll back my system at this time. But thank you for your interactions. I'm sure the public has seen your comments. They are well noted. And once again, thank you for working hard behind the scenes to facilitate this meeting. Thank you, HOS, our own barrister, Anthony Okumboa. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Let me just answer those 5 questions. I'll start with Charles Sadion. Thank you for your understanding of the challenges we face as a state and a country. We can do so much as a state, but if people who are supposed to manage the broader macroeconomic issues at the federal are not doing what they should do, it will be like us just running the treadmill, a lot of effort, and we're not making progress. But we will continue to, and I appeal to all of you to continue to speak up so that even whatever, we can also see reform at the federal level to support the kind of change and reform which we're making, because we are all faced with the same global challenge. If we don't grow the economy of Nigeria, no matter what we do, no matter what we do, we cannot get away from these issues of banditry, of Boko Haram, and what have you. It's most of the problems we're having. The underlying cause is the economy. We'll let you know. Like I said, we're working hard towards setting up an electricity market in Edo State, and we've made a lot of progress. We'll be coming up with some announcements, and whatever ideas you have, please feel free so that I can put you in touch or put the people in charge in touch with you. Gilligilly Port is going on very well. We're very pleased. The studies have now been completed. We know how much we need. We know the type of products we're talking to people, some potential users of the port and investors in the port. And we're very, very excited. I mean, every day as we work on this project, we just see the potentials are just huge. We now know what to do, the amount of dredging that needs to occur at the entrance of the Atlantic. We know how, we know what the extent of the road. We've done all the mapping of the road network that we need to construct from the port into the city. We are also, talking to some people, large users, people going to be using the port, and they're all very, very excited. We expect that by the end of beginning of next year, we'll be in the market raising money, the funding, and I don't think there will be too much of a problem there. I want to thank you. I can't remember his name now, who talked about the responsibility of the citizens. That is, which is the point I made on my inauguration. That you have asked me to come and govern Edo State. Are you not going to give me the tools with which to govern? I think it's important that we also look at that. And taxation is one of. Yes, we have a situation where for many years, because of long military rule, the military did not think they had the legitimacy to collect taxes from people. So the culture of collecting tax from citizens almost disappeared. We are reintroducing that. We've done a lot of work, and you'll see in the next few weeks and months, people will be coming to you with assessment. But what we've also done is we just didn't want a situation where we're going to collect taxes and we waste the money. I want to say a few things. Today, every kobo that we raise from tax in IGR goes to infrastructure, every kobo. We don't spend one kobo out of it paying salaries or doing anything. I use it in paying the contractors who are building roads and schools and buildings. That is what we spend tax money for. So we can account for the money we've raised as tax. 2, using technology and the restructuring now, we are making the process of tax administration, collection, and payment very easy, in line with what was suggested, so that people can pay via POS terminals. You don't need to pay cash. You can pay online. You can pay with your phone. Your assessment. And we're not increasing taxes at all. We're only saying just pay what you are ought to pay. It's only people who are working in established institutions like government that seem to be paying. All those who are on their own never. So we're expanding the net and bringing those people in, and we are going to do it in a civil manner. We're not going to be using sticks. No, I mean, up to date, we see that most people want to comply. But most people in the private sector understand it. But if you don't come to them, they are not likely to come up first. So the issue of reorientation, conscientizing them is very important, and we're going to continue to work on that. The role of the diaspora cannot be, we cannot say no, we can never say no. Our strength in Edo today, the reason why we are seeing economic growth is because of the diaspora. We're seeing flows coming in. We're seeing commitments, we're seeing ideas, we're seeing capacity, we're seeing interests coming from our own side. And what we need to do is to continue to forge that close partnership with the diaspora. The realm of possibility with the diaspora is unimaginable. I tell people, I say, look, just from my own investment banking experience, today, the total amount of money government has to spend in a year is it's not even up to $500 million. But the amount of money those from the diaspora, both the Nigerian diaspora, African diaspora, and the global diaspora bring in is in excess of $2 billion a year. So the diaspora, people from outside the state, bring in almost five times what the state government spends. But so if the government can organize its own and use its resources, then you will see that the diaspora inflows will go a longer way than it's going now. So the diaspora is not one thing we joke with at all. Well, that's why this sort of interaction and engagement is something we will continue to do. I'm going to try and have one before the end of the year, at least if nothing else, just to wish you a happy Christmas and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So we'll have one before the year runs out. And then some of our plans will be much clearer. We'll be able to tell you a lot much more about the things we're doing. The 30-year development plan is key. We need to sell it to you. You need to buy into it, because that plan shows you that we'll have our own river port, we'll have an international airport, we'll have areas designated for technology development, we'll have areas for for healthcare, for what I call the future economy. All of these are being laid out in the master plan, which we are developing, which we will share with all of you. The plan for water, what is sad is that all of this existed before. I saw it in the 1973 development plan. I saw it. You could see, when you go around the city today, you see all the infrastructure that was built. It worked. So I am very optimistic that we can do it again. It's just commitment and dedication. So all the issues you've asked about, the development fund yes, once we are able to lay out the requirements, what we'll need, the resources we need to undertake the transformation to make Edo great again, we will come back to you with all the alternatives. Definitely the diaspora have a lot of role to play. We will raise diaspora bonds, we will raise diaspora funds, and we'll look at where we can get the money and use the money to quickly finance the rapid development which we envisage. I want to thank you very, very much. I cannot, tell you this 2.5 hours is like with 30 minutes. But we've been here 2.5 hours just talking. We will never stop talking. There's so many questions you've asked, we've not been able to answer. But what I can assure you is that, look, I found that the biggest problem we had in our politics and government is trust. When the people did not trust our people did not trust those of us in government and politics. I am trying to reestablish that trust. And certain things must happen for you to believe. You must be convinced that we are not doing the things that created the mistrust in the first place. We want to be sure, we want to be transparent and open. And we want to also always continue to communicate so that you know what is going on. Like I said, we are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you know that we are doing all we can with all our hearts and mind to just make Edo great again. And I know from just listening to you, reading your comments, hearing the interests that are being expressed by many of you, that you are all committed. And just like Ambassador Becky Wifo said, many of you want to do something for Edo. We must now make it possible to create the platform so that for you to conveniently and easily contribute your own quota to the development of our dear state. I want to thank you for the support we've enjoyed from you to date. I want to, also say that don't be too worried. I understand the panic, the anxiety when you see some false narrative on social media. Everybody's so worried. That's a part of the challenges of the new communication, new order. Be circumspect, but just trust that we will not do anything that is contrary to the interest of majority of Edo people. I want to thank you, Wabu, Wawese. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much, Governor OBASEKI. To be honest, your response to questions today definitely assures many of us that the way to mega is very clear. The pathway to mega is very clear. And we pray that God leads you in wisdom and of course good health to actualize the vision for Edo State. And I want to equally thank every Edo State citizen that has taken part, that has been part of this process. Thank you very much. For those on Facebook and those on YouTube, everybody, we thank you. And I want to apologize briefly. We had a moment where, some people logged in. We don't know how many, but they tried to compromise our system. So we had some hitches here and there, but we were able to identify that very quickly and, of course, dealt with it quickly. I will now call on Mr. Sonny Irabo to give us a vote of thanks. Uncle Sonny Irabo, please.
Yes. Excellency, thank you very much. In fact, I'm sure everyone that is present here and those who heard it from other sources would agree with me that you've taken it hands-on. But what I really love about the fact that, about what you did is the fact that you are able to explain things effortlessly, convincingly. And so there's no need for anyone to start, developing all kinds of aggressive or unfriendly attitude towards your candid opinion and your focus for Edo State. So thank you a great deal, and I hope the people that took part have really gained a lot from that process. I would also like to say a few words that everyone that took part, I think I counted almost 300 or thereabout. You guys did very well. And those that asked questions, you did very well too. Those that did not bother to show their faces, it's not your fault. Even those that tried to show their faces, sometimes it was difficult. I want to thank all of you and to ask you to put your best into believing in the Edo of our dream, which Governor Godwin Obaseki is projecting for us. So please spread the word to other Edo Indigenes and even Nigerians that Edo is not just the heartbeat of the nation, it's here to stay, and we're going to be the focal point moving the nation forward. And from what I've seen His Excellency do, I think we have a lot to gain from it. So thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, participants, those in diaspora and those worldwide. Thank you all, and God bless you. God bless Edo State. God bless Nigeria.
The ancient sea.
Okay, my people right there, how you guys doing? Can you guys hear me at all? I don't know. There's some. Hello, can anyone hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. I can't even bring myself to the screen. Everything is frozen right now. Oh, what happened? Nothing is working. Oh no. Nothing is working here at all. Okay, good. I'm back again. I'm back. How you guys doing, my people? All right. You can, but I can't pull myself on the screen. I'm struggling. Okay, if you can hear me, that's good. All right. If you have Naija Watch phone number, you can call in, tell us what you think about this Zoom meeting with the governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin OBASEKI. I'm still struggling to pull myself right there because we were streaming live, so my system is frozen right now. Okay. Oh God. God damn it. Can you guys see me at all? Oh, people already call. I can't even put myself right there. Can you see me? Hello? I don't want to end this, man. I don't want to end this. I need to just continue with this one. You see? Come on. I don't want to end this. Can you see me? All right. Okay. Good, my people. How you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. I guess I want to thank every one of you who participated watching Governor Godwin OBASEKI. I guess you all jotted down all his answers to questions. Okay, Naija Watch was having a lot of questions to put on, but at the time was not permissible, so we could not pass on all the questions accordingly or as planned. All right, but at least we're going to thank Mr. Israel, who represented Naija Watch, to ask at least one of the questions numerous questions that were jotted to ask, which was the open grazing, but the governor was not very happy about the open grazing question that we asked him, and the Kewan Road question that we asked again. He wasn't actually happy about it. I don't know why, but at least we managed to drop one or two. You know, yes, my people. Yes, I just want you guys to call in, tell us what you think about that Zoom meeting. The governor tried anyway. He tried. He spent over 2 hours, so at least we should applaud him for that. But I want us to deliberate on his answers to questions. Okay, let's deliberate on his answers to questions. Tell us what you think about that. Call in again. Someone was calling in earlier on. Okay, the phone number. Let me put it right there right now. 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me look for my number. Everything is just somehow right now. I don't know, because streaming live shut every other things down. That's why you could not see my face all through. Okay, the phone number is right there. Okay, the phone number is right there. Call in. I'm gonna take 5 calls and I'm done. Okay, we have the first caller right now. Hello, good evening to you. Turn down the system. Talk to me, sir. How are you doing today?
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever we are watching from. My brother Elvis, thank you very much. I watched it live. And in fact, I was even hooked up with the team. So the opportunity that my question time was not there for them to pick my hands up.
Exactly.
Every person cannot just answer, but most of the questions that I had, I penciled down to asking. Some of them were said, and some of them were answered. Just that for me to ask a question to make sure that it goes to other area, fine. The question they raised, like what you just said just now before I gave you a call, was that the answer for Thelma Road was not it was not happy. But no. That is not too straight. Maybe before your representative asked the question, it was not there. Maybe he didn't get it clear. Somebody asked the question and he answered that they have seen everything, they have done the drainage, but the problem is this rain that has still keep on dropping. As at this morning, say there was heavy rain, and to be candid, there's no contractor that will work after putting the asphalt and everything, and the rain comes and wash it out. Where will the money come from? The government will not repay, and the contractor will not want to go and pay money for the job I've already done over half of the kilometer. So he said that they said the rain should subside or should go down. They were thinking that by this same month, we will enter the dry season and come to the dry season, so that they will do that. He has made a promise. Let the dry season start. So let us pause a little. Now we are going to dry season between now and next month.
Okay.
If something is not done, then we'll start firing, because it is part of the question I wanted to ask.
Okay. All right.
Is the part, because I follow you. I followed you when you said, when I saw you, it was you that even made me to know that the time is come. The time has come. I went to hook up because I sent my notice before 3 days before now. So I am following you. I'm your fans, and I know what you are talking about. We all will still go to talk to him. He has already said, let's wait. By the time before the end of this month, we enter the dry season proper.
Although there was not enough time to ask questions, but there would have been some significant questions to ask, because during the time in June, when the governor said that is only the surfacing that is remaining and the money is available to do this, the rain was not falling at that time. So I think there's some sluggishness with the contractors, whoever that is working there, which governor needs to take actions about.
Those are the questions.
Yes, but it was the time was not.
You have sent the money out, everything, logistics, everything is there. The contractors, they are slow. You energize them, jack them off to go and do the job, because anything they do there, it is you. They won't call to the contractor. They will bring the problem to you. Now you have come out to say you have paid them. If you have not paid them, let the contractor come out to say they have not paid. No, but you are right, my brother. So that is why we still say, let us still keep our question and our figure.
Okay, that's fine. Let's talk to someone else. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very
yes,
much.
Sir.
All
Yes,
the
sir.
same, as you said, he tried to have sit down for 2 hours to see what the job you are doing. That is not easy.
Thank you. Okay, you see. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not easy for you to sit down He has never sat down like that.
Yeah.
To start receiving questions. But he's a technical man. He knows how to answer questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you.
Hello. Good evening to you. Turn down your system, please. Turn down your system. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, my brother Naija. How are you today?
I'm very fine, madam. How are you? What's your name? Where you calling us from?
My name is Joy, at least.
Okay, we are live, you know.
Yeah, I know I'm live. Yeah, I'm watching you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was listening to OBASEKI. He was saying that,
Please turn down your system, madam. Turn down your system.
Okay, sorry if you are still hearing it. Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
OBASEKI was saying that he will not sign the bill because maybe they cannot see cow to eat or milk to drink. I'm wondering, is it the Fulani cow that is giving him milk? I can't understand that because I was born and brought up in Nigeria. I've never drank Nigeria milk from a cow from Nigeria, that fresh milk.
Okay.
So except the one they do in maybe Kano, Kaduna, all those areas they use in drinking kunu, I've not. They don't sell it in the market. So I don't know what he's talking about. That is the milk that they bring in the cow that is sustaining him or
all right,
sustaining other.
Madam, because of time, let's hear from someone else as well. Maybe one or two might respond to that.
Okay then. That's fine.
Thank you so much, madam. God bless you. Yeah. Hello. Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Please turn down your system. Go ahead.
Good evening, brother.
Good evening, sir.
This is Rima calling from Germany.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Raymond. Go ahead.
Yeah, bro. So you know the reading. This woman, I just want to refer to what this woman just said.
Okay.
She said, our amiable governor said she will not sign the bill.
Yeah.
He will not sign the bill. He never said so. I watched the 2 hours, 40 minutes. I was with them. He said he himself does not even like open grazing. You understand?
Yeah.
He said he don't like it. He said, but you cannot just pass a law you cannot control. You understand?
Okay.
He said nobody can just pass a law. He said to pass a law is easy, but you cannot just pass a law. You cannot just control. That's why he mentioned meat and milk. He has a way he put it. He said you cannot just pass a law. Before you pass a law, you cannot control. You must put facilities on ground that those cows, where those cows will go, how those cows will be taken care of before you pass a law. That is what he said.
Okay.
He answered that question perfectly.
Okay.
For the Akewa Road, he said the money is there to pay off the contractor. But the problem is that the rain right now is disturbing. He can no contractor want to go to site on rain and build a road on rain. You understand? When you build the road, it's wet tomorrow. Public will say that they don't do that road well or this and that. I got everything he said. I got it. What he said, we should not be changing it in one way or the other.
Who changed it? Who changed it? Who changed it? She's entitled to her opinion. Please don't attack anybody. You are entitled to yours. Yes, nobody, and I will not allow anybody to attack you as well. So yes, no, but not everybody can remember how he said it.
You understand? I understand you.
Yeah, as long as they did not fabricate a different thing in total, we all will still understand. Okay.
Yeah, because we just lived it. He just lived the life.
Thank you.
To say it the way it is. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello. Good evening to you. Can you hear me? Oh, this person, I'm sorry. Your line is not someone else. I have to talk to someone else now. Yours is not working. Hello. Good evening to you. Turn down your system, your name, and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, my name is Kelly. I'm calling from Spain.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, talk to me, sir. Go ahead. One minute I'm giving everybody so that we can run out.
All right. In regards to the other lady that called before the last caller.
Yeah.
And what she was trying to say, she's very right. And the last caller was trying to bend the issue. No, we have to be straightforward in a case like this. These cows are not owned by the state government or by the federal government. These cows are owned by the individual. If, for example, they are paying tax, I know in Nigeria they don't pay tax. If they are, for example, if they are paying tax, then they can be able to locate the land. They will bring some funds. Then the government will also finance them in a way that they can also buy a land where they can keep their cows. Or if they are not paying tax, they should buy a land where they can train their cows. Cows are not meant for streets to disturb people in the street. He said it that he cannot just put a ban because people may want to eat meat and all that. I listened for good 2 hours. He said it. If you can replay the video, I heard it when he said it.
Yeah.
So that's my contribution.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello, good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Please be audible and be swift. Go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you, sir. I'm fine. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, Don said that. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm calling from London.
Talk to me, my brother.
Basically, yeah, I was fortunate enough to tune in to the governor's session this evening.
Yeah.
But my only area of concern was in the area of passing the law, the grazing law.
Yeah.
He was emphasizing on the fact that how we're going to be getting milk and meat. But is that more important than those people?
Okay.
To me, that wasn't good enough from the governor for him to be emphasizing on the idea that if they have to pass the law, that how we're going to be getting meat and milk. That was just too shallow from our governor. So it was putting the life of our citizens down and putting the Fulani herdsmen. He was putting the Fulani herdsmen, comparing it to the lives of those citizens.
Thank you, my brother. Let others respond to this. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Be audible, please. Tone down your system. Tone down your system, sir.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to you, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling from United Kingdom. My name is Henry Owie.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Talk to us.
I think let us first of all give kudos to the governor for answering Edo in the diaspora, for answering our call and our cry.
Exactly.
So we appreciate. Yeah, sir.
Tone down your system so that you can follow up with this now. You people are, but you have been calling me for so long. You should know these rules.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So we have to apply the governor first and foremost, and we still also to congratulate Naija Watch for this great job he has done for us.
Thank you.
The truth of the matter is that no matter what you will do, no matter the good you will do, we will still see some people that will, criticize you. Even you as Naija, with all this kind of great job you are doing for Edo people still criticize you. You understand?
Yeah.
With the meeting we just watch this evening, I think everybody that participated in that meeting, including the governor, I think we have to celebrate all of them. We have to celebrate all of them. Now, our Excellency do a very great job. All the questions they ask, this is a human being like us. He tried and he responded all the questions. Even when he did not respond to some that we are not satisfied, at least he tried.
Yeah.
But in the area of that open grazing, he made it clear that there is one thing he said. He said he cannot do anything that will affect the majority of the Edos. So in other words, he cannot do anything in his own selfish interest that will make the rest of the Edo suffer.
Okay.
So let us pick from what the governor was saying. The governor never said he will not assign the anti-grazing bill. Neither he will sign it. He said they are looking into it. He said that is why it's called a town hall meeting, so that they will look into this thing. It's not what he can do by his power. That he now said to give the law is easy.
Yeah.
But what about if is not running against you or running against the people? What will you do? So that is what they are looking at.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let's talk to someone else because of time. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Henry. Yeah. Thank you. Hello. Good evening to you. Turn down your system. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Jason Aruna. Good evening.
Oh, thank you very much. Go ahead. Good evening.
This is more for you, sir. I think next time Naija Watch families should try to be many in attendance so that we can have a fair share of contribution.
Yes, I support that. I support that.
Yeah, that's my take.
Thank you very much for bringing this up. Yeah, because if we were up to 10 there, at least 5 or 6 can talk. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Thank you very much, my brother. Okay. I love this. Bye. Hello, good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. The audible, please. Hello. Hello, you're not speaking. I need to speak to someone else. We don't have time. Hello, good evening to you. Talk to me. Your name and where you're calling us from. Turn down your system. Turn down your system. Talk to me. I'm hearing myself from your background.
Hello, I've turned down my system.
Okay, go ahead. Talk to me. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Hello. Ah, damn. Okay. That caller, I think we lost that caller. We need to speak to someone else now. I'm sorry, guys. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Turn down your system. Turn down your system. Your name and where you're calling us from. Oh God. This is something else, man. Hello, good evening to you. Turn down your system. Your name and where you are calling us from.
Mr. Ivis, good afternoon. My name is Mr. Moriyi. I'm coming from the US.
Mr. Moriyi. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Go ahead, talk to us.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you.
Though I joined the program, this is what we need in our state. Interaction matters. If you are doing anything and nobody is aware, it's like somebody that is in the darkness. So it was very, good that we're able to have this kind of forum with the governor today. As for the woman that was trying to,
Mr. Moriyi, we lost you right there. Mr. Moriyi? Mr. Moriyi, are you there? Mr. Moriyi, your network is not pleasing. Oh yeah, go ahead, speak to us then.
Yes, sir.
Your network is bad. Your network.
Yes, maybe I will make sure I will.
You said what?
Oh my God. Hello, I'm here, but I don't know what's going on.
Then go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you now.
Okay. He didn't say he wasn't going to sign the anti-grazing bill into law.
It's 22 hours.
He had repeated what he said before. That he will sign it, but make sure every stakeholder is carried along. That was what he said. There's no need burning it here and there.
Okay.
And again, I would suggest that we do this next weekend by Friday, or any other day between now and next tomorrow, so we can really deliberate on it.
Of course. We are gonna deliberate on it on this next Friday. Okay. Mr. Moriyi, I'm sorry. Yes, next Friday. Your network is not very good right now. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Moriyi. Thank you very much. Okay, the network of Mr. Moriyi is not very good right there. My people, I appreciate every one of you. Let me look at the comment section. I don't know what you guys are saying there. If you're talking to me at all. Okay, someone else is calling us right now. Let's speak to somebody else. Hello, good evening to you. Turn down your system. Turn down your system. Your name and where you're calling us from. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Nidamosh.
Yeah, good evening, sir. How are you doing today?
My name is Kelvin.
Okay.
I'm calling from London.
Okay, Mr. Kelvin, talk to us. 1 minute, please. We don't have time. I need to go.
I'm listening carefully to the response of His Excellency.
Okay.
And I must say that his response to questions was insatisfiable. And as a governor, he should know that governor have the power and the authority to implement law and to enforce law. You know, and secondly, in the area of security, he talked about, it was not really what I expected him to say, you know, because as a governor, you have the power to secure your people. You shouldn't be comparing your state with other states by saying that your state is a little bit better than Lagos State, than other states in security. Meanwhile, your state is not secured. You should be able to let your people know that now that there's no security, you will try to put a law or put a platform to ensure that there be a local security or a government security, which is the government police, you know. So I must say that I'm not really satisfied with this response. And another thing, another remedy I should let us know with the Nigerians for the next election, we should watch carefully and we should vote for somebody that have experience in government, because the government also made it clear that this is, to him, it's like another phase. He had never been in the government, in the political sector before, which I listened carefully. So in a case like this, if we have to vote next time, we should vote for somebody
Thank you.
that have been in politics, or somebody
Thank you,
that
sir.
have been experienced, or somebody that read political science.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. We can see one that is in here is typing what I don't understand. I've not even said anything, you know. People are talking and somebody's already attacking me. What was happening here? The only thing I mentioned was that the governor could not didn't answer our question because he said he answered it before, but our question was put in a different dimension. So I don't know what you're talking about. In terms of the open grazing, I was not happy with the response. Some people are happy with it, so that makes us human beings. We all are entitled to our own opinion. So Ace, I don't know what you want. Okay. Hello. Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Turn down the system. Talk to us, sir.
Naija World, good evening. My name is Mr. John from UK.
Talk to me, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. So I listened to the town meeting with the OBASEKI. So one thing I would just like people to understand, OBASEKI is saying that it's not because other governors they are signing that because of they are signing the anti-grazing law that you need to sign it. No, it's not done that way. Okay, let me give you an example. The other day, OBASEKI traveled to go and visit Buhari. Do you think that he also went there to see Aso Rock or maybe to view Aso Rock? Let's give this man a chance. You know what he's doing. One thing people don't understand. Buhari is the one in charge of all the police in Nigeria. Buhari is the one in charge of all the ministry in Nigeria. You understand? Signing the law is not the main issue. You understand? Okay, he was saying now, okay, the other day, during the time when they were showing, he was saying that he's going to make sure Giligili seaport. He's going to do Giligili seaport and he's going to make sure that he put, let me just say, international airport in Benin City.
Yeah.
But for him to do those things without Buhari giving him the license, he can't do those things.
All right. We need to go now, sir, because
That man know what he's doing. We should just pray for him so that he can be able to use wisdom.
okay, let us all be patient with him. Let's just keep waiting.
Be patient so that you know what he's doing. You understand?
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very much,
Thank you very much. Yeah. Hello, good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Talk to me. That's Benson right there. Talk to me. Go ahead, Mr. Benson. Mr. Benson, there's so much noise on your background.
Yeah, I'm turning down my system now. Hello, Naija Watch. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. My name is Benson Asemota. Happy Sunday to you.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
I'm rushing home now, and I'm just tuning in. I would say that my contribution is going to be straightforward.
Okay.
We've never had a governor as more democratic like OBASEKI.
Okay.
If you can invite him to a town hall, and a man of his caliber and his timber is able to attain, that is one thing that we need to even respect. It shows that he is the government. It shows that he's the government of the people.
He's the first that I've done it, and I've said that so many times. So I respect him for that, 100%.
That's good.
In fact, it's one of those in the whole Nigeria that is doing it. You know, so
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the anti-grazing law that has become a Bible to everybody, they should hold on, because he is the aim of affair. You are not there, I'm not there. Nobody is there. Sign. Yeah, people are saying that. But let's give this man the time to operate.
We should give him time, right?
Yeah, give him time to operate.
Okay.
You can see that he's even yielding to the crowd of the people. For him to come to Naija World, that's to show how humane he is.
All right. We lost you there, Mr. Benson. We lost you right there. Mr. Benson.
Did you lose me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we have you back. We have you back.
Yes. Naija World, thank you for your good work.
Thank you.
I will commend you for your good work.
Thank you.
And please let us give OBASEKI a chance.
Okay, no problem.
That is for the people, for the grassroots.
Let everybody share.
It is not political science that will give you a good government.
Thank you.
I said, someone that read political science. What is political science?
All right, my brother. It's okay. Leave everybody's opinion. Don't worry. Just do yours. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Benson. I appreciate you. God bless you. Yeah. Hello. Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I will continue to bless you.
Amen.
I think you got something in your brain.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Please let everybody just keep mute. This man know what he's doing. For him to come to us and listen to us, and you know that he know what he's doing. Please, we should please give peace a chance, and then let's embrace him so that he can do whatever he want to do.
Okay.
Please.
All right then. Thank you, sir.
Please put a hand on the table, please.
Okay then. No problem. Thank you very much, sir. Come.
No, I can do it. It's only in Britain here they can do what he did now. Only in Britain here, that's where they can do what he did. Thank you, bye.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. In terms of the Governor OBASEKI coming on air to speak to Edo people, I said it last year, and I said it early this year, and I said it middle of this year, and I've applauded him for that. To be honest, for me, if I'm criticizing you, I try to see the area where you're good. Governor OBASEKI remains one of the best governors who communicate online, e-communication, okay? In all the governors in the whole Nigeria, okay? For me, don't get me wrong, no governor have ever done it in Edo State. No governor, all right? So I'm not saying my body they hot. If we need them again the next 2 months, I no answer now how they vest, but that is not enough for me not to see what is right. So in terms of that, I was any of you who mentioned that, I will support you to applaud him on that. Yes, that is already a record for him, which is a very, very good record. Let's talk to someone here. Hello, good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Please turn down your system.
Okay, there's no system here.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I will not get any system. My name is Agboha Kennedy.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy.
I'm calling from Belgium, but I'm busy from, but I don't visit Belgium now.
Okay, my brother, talk to us. Yeah.
My brother, you know what in there? And don't go too cry if OBASEKI come out. And that is the regret where I don't go regret it go too much. You understand?
Yeah.
If this OBASEKI matter so, Oh God, me I never see any governor where they follow Edo people, they talk for social media, they talk for this, they address Edo people. You understand me, so? The problem, OBASEKI, the enemy where you get, many pass the people where you love them. Like me, I love them with all my heart. For all my heart, because now that's where God say, go for Bini, make go change the narrative. If not be OBASEKI now, no Edo people know what they call politics, what they do for Edo. Like me, since when they born me, I don't know what they call politics. Me, I know many of my friends, no, they care, say that they do election, they do. Nobody they care for election. Now, OBASEKI, they complete all and do together now. Say me, yes, everybody will tell know what they apple for that, our Edo. You understand? Many people say they don't like our pet.
Yeah, but it's normal. It's normal. Everybody cannot like you. Not be everybody like me. Yeah. No. That's if I rebuke that. You cannot say that. You know, it looks like you are already cursing us prospectively. You don't know. The next governor, we are hoping for the next governor to be the best ever. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. We go miss Sam. You say Edo people go miss Sam.
The only solution for Edo now to form another party. If we really somebody who really love the Edo state, now to if a party go come out before that time, we will donate money, we'll take form another party. If we don't form another party,
okay. Yeah.
We will create a small party, more proof them like AAC, like all those AGA, then all of us go like me, no amount of money where they go ask me who will take former. You know why I say this, eh?
Yeah.
You see PDP?
My brother, round up 30 seconds. More for talk to everybody. 30 seconds. Yeah.
PDP, APC,
yeah.
If Edo enter PDP and if OBASEKI come out, oh bro, that check that money, what they will do, Edo, it will do what?
All right, no problem.
If Edo people go to APC, the money where say Yamu don't lost for 3 years, to election, we don't lose, they go collect them back. Kabaka will collect you.
No.
For us.
All right.
The people, they will collect their own.
Okay.
Anybody will love Edo, what they will do, anybody will love Edo now, more than proud they should really love Edo.
All right, let's talk to someone else is calling. All right, thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening to you. Your name and where you calling us from?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Yeah, well, sir.
Yes.
Please, yes, I listened to our governor Italy. This is I was very happy. You know.
We cannot hear you.
I said I listened to our governor this evening.
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, but people already see the bad side of it.
Yeah.
Why people cannot reason? That's why he's saying something just now.
Yeah.
Let us find a way to help him to develop the state.
Yeah.
He said many things. He said many things how he's trying to make Edo State great. But nobody is talking about how you're going to invest in Edo State. How we're going to create investment in Edo State. How we're going to do something else, as he said, how we're going to do this. Everybody go back to criticizing something, how you go to where you forget for. That's what I always crying out to. Why people cannot think where we're going to invest in Edo State? What is the next booming system in what we're going to invest? So
that was part of our question to him, but the question was not passed. Because one of the questions we passed to him was, hold on, let me read it. Although that question did not deliver, just hold on. The question was okay, this was the question. What Mr. Governor, what are the security put in place to protect the investment and properties of those of us that lives in the diaspora in terms of we want to come and invest back home? So so that question, unfortunately, it was not passed because we wanted to be sure. You are talking about investment. Before you can invest, you need to be sure of your protection, because trust me, many of us have saved money for the past 10, 20, 30 years. So nobody want to go invest back home and watch your investment go down the drain just like that. So you need to be guaranteed of some kind of security towards your investment then before you can invest. So fortunately, that question could not reach out to him.
Yeah, but one thing, we with about this on media, they have to do one of two things. Make sure say because Afghanistan they see investment there, in Syria they see investment, they Libya they investment there. We are not like that by this time now. But let us try our best to make sure say when we find the best investment, we know that go to sweet for Kobahi, we know that go to sweet for Oromi, we know that go to sweet for Anguchi. We just think about that. See, Dangote is buying everywhere.
All right, no problem. No problem, my brother. No problem.
We want to see the bad side of the governor. Forget about the governor. Governor is doing your best. Let us be doing our best.
Yeah, the bad side, before you go, in case you don't know, the bad side that people try to see or talk about is what pushed the governor to talk to you today. Okay, I believe you live outside Nigeria. Criticism is part of government. Criticism is what push that give pace to development. So that's one thing that people are finding hard to understand. As long as you don't insult the governor, which we never do on this platform, but criticizing the governor is what makes the governor come to talk to us today. Governor did a social media conference last week or 2 weeks ago. The first thing he mentioned is that social media, so many people is talking to me. Okay, I beg. I know the verse for Naija. It shows that he's listening. These are the things that push them to do whatever he's doing today. So look at Ring Road before.
Make people be very careful because see that guy was crying in the hospital that day. That when you want to address it at what 5 years old and 80, 90 years old hospital. What are you? Who going to go there? If it, even in Benin, there is old house in Benin. You cannot destroy. You can build another one. They cannot destroy it. And people don't have the money.
My brother, do you remember that Naija was showcased Ring Road when Ring Road was very dark? There was no single light on this platform. Do you remember? But today there's light on Ring Road. What can you say about that? Do you see that at all? Do you think about things like that to give Naija credit, or you only remember when it was dark when we showcased it? Do you also know that things like that doesn't make government happy at all? When you showcase things that is under them, that is not functioning properly, they are very, very upset about it. So you're pushing them out of their comfort zone to go quickly sort it out. All right? All right. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's it. When the light is there, we also came here to talk about it. That all we need is a continuous work, because 8 years you think is long. Trust me, it's not long. Before you open your eyes, 8 years is over. Another person will come back again to spend another 8 years. Let's be talking. As long as we are
praying after he leave, we have somebody like him so that those can move forward.
Exactly. Someone that is even better than him. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Israel, thank you very much for you representing Naija Watch today. We appreciate you, my brother. Talk to us.
Good evening, Naija Watch channel. Good evening, everyone that is listening. And thank you also for showcasing it to the adult people what this channel is all about. And I also thank you all for giving me the opportunity to represent you all. As you said, Naija Watch have just told you there was no time to ask a lot of questions, but the main question that I could put into the governor, was the question of insecurity. Though he spoke about it, but I wanted to make sure that we emphasize on that open grazing, because the life and property of the citizen of that state is what he was sworn in there to do. So that was why I had to put the question. But so far, the governor has spoken now, and we all shouldn't use this opportunity to fight ourselves. Let us see how he said it. He promised that he wants to work for us. And also, I want to let everyone know, if you are in or against, Naija Watch is not there to criticize the government or, make the government look bad. We are not there like that. The reason why you see Naija Watch being one of those people, it shows that Naija Watch is doing absolutely well. And this is the only platform and only channel that is trying to checkmate the government. And that is why you see that even if we were given a little time, but we were still called on. So that shows the effectiveness of this channel. And we all should continue to speak and make sure that our plight is being carried forward.
Thank you, my brother.
I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to represent you. And you know what Naija will stand for. It's the channel of the people, by the people, and for the people. And that is why we'll do all it can to make sure that you, as the people of Edo State, your plight is being carried to the necessary channel.
Thank you, my brother.
And God bless you.
God bless you, my brother. Thank you. Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Please be audible. Talk to us. Hello. We are waiting.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
My name is Linda. I am calling from United States of America, California.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Linda. Please talk to us.
Yeah, so I just want to use this opportunity to thank you first for all you do.
Thank you very much, madam.
And also our governor for coming out today to talk to us. The only area I'm really concerned about for what he said, I know there's a lady who called in from the Maryland here in the United States.
Yeah.
She's an Asian woman who said that they contributed some money to build, renovate the hospital in Nirwa.
Yeah.
And the governor said that because they didn't go through his office, that was the reason why he did not go there to commission the hospital. And also, these people have been sending some email, and he did not reply them. And also, I have a friend here in California who is also an Asian. I'm not an Asian, from Benin. So who also approached me one-on-one to see if there's any way they can reach out to the governor to commission that hospital. So I know it's not okay to just do anything there without going through the governor. But now these people did not know about all that rules. Now the hospital is already developed. I think our governor should also see it to also acknowledge what they've done for their people, and also go there to commission this hospital.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah. All right. My people right there, I think we need to round up right now because we already have 3 hours, 22 minutes. We've been here all day. We followed up everything. So our brother who called from Geneva, I think I picked a lot of points from what he said, that next time we need to have up to 10 or even more inside there so that most of our questions can be passed. Okay. So, but nevertheless, we tried. Well done, my people. I appreciate every one of you. Let's continue to talk constructively so that our government will be listening to us so that they can work for us at the same time. There's nothing like hating each other. Don't hate anybody. There's no need. You don't even have anything to gain by hating anybody. Whether we like it or not, because OBASEKI still remains the best ever in Nigeria that communicate with its people online. For me, I've never come across where an Igbo or whatever Hausa or Yoruba governor or Sawulu in Lagos now communicating with Lagosians on a Zoom meeting. I've not seen it. I never said maybe it didn't happen, but I've not seen it. Maybe one of you must have seen it, but for me, I haven't seen it. So Governor OBASEKI remain the only governor. I said this thing last year. I'm not just changing it now. I said it early this year. I said the middle of this year, and I'm saying it again. Okay? He's the only governor I've seen. So at least, and for me, I'm never satisfied. That's one thing about me. For me, if you ask me, I need a governor that will be communicating with its people every month. Yes, for me. Or maybe I'm too asking, right? Okay, let's put it every 4 weeks, every 2 months. For the 4 years you're going to be in office, at least make it mandatory. Every 2 months, you must come on air to talk to your people. Because Governor OBASEKI have started right now, so there's a lot of competition that the prospective governor needs to follow now. Okay, you have to follow it because you don't have no choice. You need to communicate with your people all the time. At least every 2 months. It's not too much to ask for, because the OBASEKI sat down there today answering questions for 2 hours, 35 minutes or more. Okay, at least if you can do that every 4 weeks, 2 hours, 35 minutes is not too much to ask for. Okay, do that with your people. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the last time Governor OBASEKI communicated with the Edo people was back in June. and we are in November right now. So and it was mute, and for why? That's why you see that social media, everybody was boiling and all that. So now I believe the blood will come down a little bit, but checkmating is a compulsory thing that doesn't have anything to do with you love the governor or you hate the governor. Checkmating and talking on the legitimate stuff. Don't just talk in terms of because you hate the governor. Talk because you must have seen something and you want to talk about it or to draw the government's attention to it. That's what it means. Okay, my people, I appreciate every one of you. Let's continue to watch out because for me, there's no time. You think there's time, there's no time, my brother. You know, there's no time, my sister. You know, check how old you were when Oshomole came into power. Check how old you are right now. You know, then if you remove those years, Shomole 8 years, Governor OBASEKI 8 years, 8 plus 8, 16. Remove 16 years from your age right now. If you're watching me, tell me how old you are. Then that's when you're going to know that there's no time. Now, also have it in mind, when Governor OBASEKI is done, the next person that is coming to spend 8 years. I don't tell you now, none of them want to spend 4 years. They only use that one to deceive us. That I'm okay. You have been sworn in for the next 4 years. Now lie. Once you put them into that power, they will never want to leave until their 8 years is completed. So let's do it. The next 8 years after the 3 years of Governor OBASEKI is completed, if you don't talk now, the prospective governor that will take over from its predecessor, which is Governor OBASEKI, we also stay for another 8 years. You will be here defending. You will be here, make una give her time. You will be here, make una give her a chance. Trust me, my brother. If gray hair now they come out for your head, will come out for your baby. If not come out for your baby, they come out for your. Now only God can know where they come out from. Now that time you get to know that it's time for you to be talking. You talking, you did not commit no offense, no any court they can take you to if you are talking constructively. No prison for anybody that talk constructively. Okay, the only people that have prison built for them is when you come on air, you just insulting the government, you just talking anyhow. That's when you can put yourself in trouble. Okay, we know how it works. It's our game, it's our work, and we studied it. So everything, that's why I've said this so many times. Everything I'm said on my platform, I back it up with an evidence. And everything we read or show to you from here coming from a legitimate source. We don't just talk because we're working on Facebook, we find a video on someone's wall, we just bring the video. My people, make una load this video. I just now for Facebook streets. We don't do that. When I show you something, I show you where we got it from. In case there's trouble tomorrow, if you are dragging me, then I'll be dragging the legitimate source. But normally, you don't supposed to drag me. If I pick something from Vanguard, drag Vanguard. Because Vanguard bring a comma. You cannot, because somebody told me in the past that Naija was, although the person is late now, I'm not accusing the person. The person was, Naija was, how could you? This is that. I'm sorry, this is from Vanguard. He said, no, big as Naija was, you're supposed to go ask Vanguard first. What they are saying is real before you bring it to your platform. I was, excuse me, sir, what are you saying? This is Vanguard. Vanguard is a legitimate source. Vanguard is a reputable platform that we all know in Nigeria. The man started insulting and every that, but you see, I just want us to get this right. If I get something from the Sun newspaper today or from Tribune and all that, if it goes wrong, blame Tribune or the Sun or Vanguard. Don't blame Naija Watch, because it's not my duty to call them again. Now say Tribune, I want to talk about this thing. Is it real? No. Do you get that? So this is it, right? Please, let's manage each other. Nobody's perfect. All right. We still have somebody calling in. I would like to talk to this person before we go. Hello. Good evening to you. Your name? Are we calling us from? Please turn down the system so we can hear you. Hello. Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, talk to me, sir. We don't have time. You only have 1 minute. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York, Gabriel. Thank you very much for everything, my brother. We are listening to all the conversation, the question everybody asked today, you see?
Yeah.
When
May God bless the governor and bless all our Edo lights here.
Amen.
That's also, but he really tried anyway.
Amen.
I've been saying this to you separately. Say, this man is a human being like us. We need to encourage him, and we need to push him, and we need to be by him. We can't just leave him and, for him alone to do everything.
Yeah.
You see what that man say after the end of everything, he said, think what you will do for Edo, not what Edo will do for you. The same thing, the president of America said, he said, think what you will do for America and not what America will do for you. That is why America is great. So we have to do something to help the governor. So that is the only thing I want to say. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you. All right, I'm seeing some comments right here. I want to thank every one of you, both you that criticize me and you that is praising me. I love you all. You see, when I see criticism that is constructive, I don't mind at all. Do you also know that in my platform, Naija was a family platform, a lady actually criticized me about 2 days ago. You see, we need this sometimes. We need this. In my Naija was WhatsApp platform, a lady criticized me. And I didn't. Somebody forwarded it to me. Say, look, this woman, they talk to you like this, and I listen, and I say, this woman no insult me now. She didn't criticize me because she's disagreeing with what some of the things I'm doing. Is all right, okay? Is all right. So thank you very much, my people. I appreciate every one of you. Let's criticize each other. That's not a problem, but let's focus more on this government. Let's focus on them. Trust me, time not deal. Time not deal. I tell you, you're energetic today. Once you don't reach 40, your energy, that your power, that your muscle, they come down. Once you hit 50, you can't manage. Once you don't use 60, some people they 60 whether they use a crush now till they waka. Once you don't use 65, 70, my brother. let's talk now. As we be guy now, we guy man. Understand, so see the shake body, So now because the moment they talk now, got time not day for your mind, time day, day. Day. Push these people, may they work for us. Push them. I appreciate every one of you. Now God bless you now. Thank you. Let's round up right now. I bet make una press the like button. We still have about 500 people watching right now. Press that like button. Now, like button won't work on now. Because like say when I know they like my video again, what did they happen? I'm gonna press my like. Press the like. Press them. Just press it. We are rounding up right now. I want you guys to press the like button, my people. Press the like button. Let me check how many like we have here. Help me to press the like button. Let me go check how many like we have. 1 minute. Don't go without you not press the like button. No, I better put smile for my face. Press my like button. Share the video. Now it's a night governor day. Let others see it. Let me go check that. I bet I'm gonna like them now. People will like them not plenty at all. What did they happen? I'm gonna press them. I'm gonna press them. Let me check. I'm gonna press them. All right, thank you, my people. Let's round up. Get where the rush to go now. Although it's all late, but I need to rush somewhere. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you, my good people. Thank you, my Naija Wash family. Make una share my video. Let's move on. Bye for now. I'll give you guys 5 minutes for this music to play. Thank you, my people. God bless you all.